this because, like I said, this is going to be a long stream, and I want to get started so that we can finish in somewhat of a prompt stream time. So what are we going to be doing today? I'm going to be gold leafing, and I have a few tutorials on this already on my YouTube channel. There's one on gold leafing a giant section, one on adding texture gold leaf, and then I have another one that will be for my Patreon members this week, but I'll add it to YouTube in 3 months. But essentially it is on taping out and doing a very complex gold leaf section. And it's the Lunar Mermaid, so I might be doing part of that on the stream today. We'll see if time permits. But essentially, I'm not using real gold leaves. This is craft 5 grams of the gold leaf. I believe there is some percentage of this being real gold. I'm not sure what the percentage is. But I know that I do not like the sheets of gold leaf. I much prefer the flakes. And I'll talk about that a little bit during the stream on why I prefer this over the sheets. And I'll be working with this brush as my primary layout for big areas. I just bought a bunch of smaller brushes for the areas that are a little more tedious. And since I'm working on canvases that are a bit smaller today, I need smaller brushes to get the areas, especially for the ones that are very specific. So I'm working with very small brushes. I'll be working with this sponge for textured areas. I don't think I'm doing much of that today, but at least I'll show you one of them. Just painter's tape. You don't need anything too special. Just make sure it's not strong enough that it will rip off the canvas or the gold itself. And then here's my fun little brush. I got this brush, which brushes off the gold leaf at the very end. It's just a cute little fat brush. And then the glue, which is the metal leaf adhesive. So I'll be going through basically the first couple in detail, and then I'll just kind of put on autopilot and go from there. So if you have any comments or questions as I'm doing this, you can go ahead and ask. It doesn't have to be specifically related to what I am doing today or gold leafing in general. It could be something more fun or art related or questions you may have about life. So I'm down for anything because I assume this will take a little while. Okay. And if in the comment section, if you have a comment, if you could put @vonnart before it, that way it's easier for us to see it before going in and out of the stream. Okay. Oh, hello, Simon. Hello, hello.
Oh,
Fem Hale popping in in and out before having to do the dishes, might join afterwards. Oh, well, make sure you get your chores done, Fem. I don't want to be a distraction for you.
The dishes can always wait.
Okay, so let's do the first one. Let's do, the one on the left, Discovery. Oh, and if you guys, can you see my bean plants? They're all the same height now. So it was funny, the one that was a late bloomer might actually be the best of the bloomers because it is now the thickest stem. So yeah, here is the first canvas print. We have many of them currently. I think we have I think there's 17 of them in total. There we go. Whoop, hold on. The camera froze. Josh, could you... I should not touch technology. I am literally the worst with technology.
Oh, is it frozen?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Okay. I don't know why it's being so picky today.
I'm telling you, it's been rough the past few streams because technology just doesn't like me.
Okay.
There we go. I think this is why I am a traditional artist, because I don't have to deal with that. The only thing I really have to deal with is if the pencil keeps breaking on me, but usually at that point I can just switch pencils. I can be picky myself. So yeah. Oh no, does that mean you weren't able to see any of when I was explaining the tools? Oh my gosh. Were you just seeing nothing? I was pretending to show things on stream.
You know what? I need to take off theater mode so I can have them next to each other.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
That'll help.
Let me know if you were able to see what I'm working with. If not, I can do a really quick run through again. Man, I'm telling you, it's not my day today. How are you? I'm doing. I'm flustered, to be honest. I was in a really good mood this morning. I was singing on the way to the store, and then I got back, and then the computer we're just not great.
Down. I don't get it, because you always have your ad blocker on, so why did today decide to be the one thing? Right.
And it's always something that I would never think of, you know? Oh, you saw them. Okay. Whew. Okay, I feel a little better. Jay says, do you have all your available originals on your online stores? I was curious about something I saw on Insta recently. We have 0 of my originals. So normally we only bring them to conventions to sell. But we've had a few people that will just message us on Etsy, and then we can arrange something. But we're hoping to do more of these live auctions and maybe put a couple originals up a month. But normally I reserve all of them for not only conventions, but when I throw a Kickstarter, I'll usually include a good handful of them to be available. And I will be having one late next month, and it will be for my poker deck, and the originals for each of the cards will be available for that Kickstarter. So you know what? I'm going to start going on one, and then I'll answer questions in and out of that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pour some of the metal leaf adhesive. You don't need a lot. I think people over pour when they are working with glue, especially with something that is an arts and craft type project. But I'm telling you, you need the thinnest amount of glue for this to work. So trust me when I say you do not need much. Oh, is this a new bottle? That's pretty good. So I don't even use the tip. I just kind of pour it on the plate. So literally like a dime size, an American currency dime size amount of glue. And then since this one is literally just the dots above his head, I'm going to be working with this brush. It's a very small square tip brush. And for each of these, I'm going to have to let them dry for 10 to 20 minutes, preferably more time. That way you get the best result and it won't become tacky. Sometimes the glue becomes like gum and you don't want it to have that tackiness. So instead, I let them dry for a little longer. And sometimes when doing them live, I try to rush it. But since we have so many, I'm not going to worry about that today.
Sony says hello from Spain.
Hello, hello.
Love the design. Sending happy thoughts your way. We need those
thank
happy
you.
thoughts.
Right? Technology just gets under my skin. It's like League of Legends and technology are the only two things that can really bother me.
Anwar says, I'm a traditional artist as well and trying to start an Instagram and trying to do social. Any tips on how to start that and also how do you draw soft lines?
So to get started on social media, I feel a lot of us feel the pressure to get big faster, to get likes or reshares or whatnot. My advice would to be always focus on the craftsmanship and the quality of what you're creating first. Don't worry so much about if you're getting likes or shares or how many people are following you, because some of the best advice I was told was that if you're really good, it's impossible not to be noticed. So focus on getting really good first, or as best as you possibly can, and strive to be something that stands out amongst the crowd, and don't copy what the top Instagrammers are doing. Because a lot of them are just making, and it's not even, I'm not trying to throw shade at them, but a lot of them are just creating very clickbaity images of pretty girls in portraits, or, you know, girls with just flowing hair and not much to them. Because I did a research project on this for a workshop last November, and the top Instagram influencers are mostly female and mostly post pictures of their profile with a blank background. And the more that I did research on this, the more I realized that the same is kind of true in every field. And especially with art, it reflects the culture of the most popular Instagram influencers, where the top artists or the most followed artists are the ones that also do female portraits with blank backgrounds. So I would encourage you to find what makes your art unique and stand out, and don't worry so much about how much traction it's garnering online, because I think that's where you start to cater your work to be something that will be received well, rather than it having to be something that you feel it comes from within. So that would be my advice with social media. I didn't really have Instagram until I was 25 or 25. And I'm so glad, because if I was 18 and trying to make it in this now social media world, I think I would also be too heavily influenced by what does garner traffic and what is popular, and then I would cater things that way. Because as a young person who doesn't have followers at the time, I was looking to gain traction to help build my brand and, build a career for myself early on. And sometimes you feel that pressure that you have to do it young. So I totally understand where you're coming from, but honestly, don't focus on it. Just focus on making really good work. There's that one. Oh, and really quick, you cannot see the glue that much, but I promise it is there, and you'll understand how it works when it's all dry and we can put the gold on. Oh, hey, Kyle. Popping in while virtually working with another friend. Don't tell them. I'll keep it hush-hush. But hello.
All right, next canvas.
Oh, yes. So this one is my relinquish. It's my fox. I'm going to auto-lock that one in.
This one you just do the straight line on this one?
Yes.
Here?
Yes, and the little spit blood coming out of his mouth. So this one's a little different than the other ones I'm going to be doing today. This one, I'm going to be gold leafing this, I don't know what it's not really a spear, but this gold line that's going to be going right through the fox. And to help create a very clean line, I'm going to be using painter's tape. So let's go ahead. And it's so much easier working with smaller canvases than it is large because I can quite literally do the entire line in one tape pass. Now, regardless of how good you are gonna lay it on, since when I drew it, admittedly, it's not 100% straight, because sometimes I'm not using rulers, which is not smart. You should always use a straight edge if you're going to be working on creating a straight line. So like in this area, it's just slightly off, and I'm going to maneuver it to be right there. So essentially, I want to go outside of the pencil line. That way, when you do the gold leafing, there's no random gray pencil lines sticking out of the gold. So once you have it pretty lined on, I'm going to push it in. I like to use my thumbnail or any of your nails to get more of a solid and pushed on effect as possible. You don't want any of the gold leaf or the glue slipping under the tape. Otherwise, some of the gold might stick to it, and then it creates a slightly off straight line. And I want this to be as clean as possible. Don't puncture it, though, with the top of your nail, so don't push into it, or else you'll create an indent in the canvas. So I try to use the flat side of my nail and put enough pressure that it's definitely pushing the tape down without it ruining the canvas. Okay. Then we do the other side, and pretty much it's the same technique. What?
Oh no, Kyle. I did because when he's saying about his friend, don't tell them, I was like, tell them what? With the winky face? And Kyle's so cute, he didn't catch it at first, but now he's like, oh wait, I see what you did there.
Oh, Kyle.
Oh yeah, so Drea just said the tape doesn't take off the pencil. But yeah, these are actually printed canvases, so there's no, you wouldn't be able to pull off any of the ink on them.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, would painter's tape pull off if you actually did this on pencil with painter's tape?
I mean, I would not recommend it. To be honest, I would be very careful if you're working on paper with graphite, because tape will lift some percentage of the graphite almost regardless, and especially if you're pressing down into it, it's going to lift all the graphite. So, or not all of it, but a good chunk of it. And to be honest, you might be lifting up some of the paper fiber, which would ruin the drawing. So I do not recommend this for pencil drawings, at least doing the tape part. You could still do the gold leafing part and doing the glue, but I would be very careful with how you're outlining things. And honestly, I wouldn't even use tape. If you're like pushing to use tape, what you can do, and this was taught to me by Babs Webb, who I'm going to be live streaming with on Friday. And if you want your tape to be a little less sticky, literally put it on your clothes, do a quick rub through, and then rip it off. and it will still be sticky enough to stick to your paper, but it won't be as adhesive that it might lift and tear the paper. So that was an interesting trick that I learned when I was doing the powdered graphite. So maybe that will help you. I should also mention, as I'm doing this, that I have a few streams coming up. Tomorrow I will be doing... Oh, I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow. What's my... Oh no, tomorrow I was going to do a recording with my best friend Kat on doing a workout for artists, but now that she's kind of in lockdown mode, she asked if she could postpone it. So tomorrow I'll just be working. But Wednesday, the weekly Wednesday live streams, I'll be doing a draw with me, kind of a follow along tutorial on drawing hands. So if you want to get better at drawing hands and want to draw alongside me, Wednesday will be the day for you to come and join. And that one I'll probably link on the Discord some resources and a reference or a couple of reference images on hands that we will be drawing so that it gives you a better idea and maybe a reference that you don't have to look on the screen for. You can have it pulled up on a separate monitor, or I know some people like to print out the reference and have it by their drawing table or desk. So yeah, we'll be doing a follow along tutorial on Wednesday. Thursday, I have a calendar that now I have to write all this down because I'm quick to forget these things. Thursday, I'm going to be working on my Jack of Clubs. I'm currently making a poker deck. And Thursday, I will be continuing the next Jack, and I'll kind of talk about what I did with my last one on the King of Hearts, which I did last Friday, which you can actually watch now on YouTube. And I'm going to be doing some outlining before the stream starts so you can see more of my rendering process, because I know a lot of you are always curious about how I render and how I do the soft shading. So I'm going to have a lot of the lines kind of done beforehand. And since this character is a person of color, I specifically want to talk about how to layer values to create a skin shade that is typically darker. And the way that I work with it, it's literally layer by layer. I don't just go for a dark pencil and just go for it. I think it's better to build up the layers and create a value spectrum that is more believable. And then you can highlight still certain areas that you want there to be curves and to show the form without it just being a really dark value all over. So yeah. And then Friday is my first kind of artist to artist insight, whatever you want to call it, interview with Babs Webb. She is a wonderful pencil artist. She creates very dark, scenic, mysterious, spooky, ooky work. And I will be not only asking her questions, but I want to talk to her specifically with questions that aren't just what inspires you, what tools do you work with. I want there to be more depth to it. So I'm going to be writing some questions that I think a lot of you may benefit from, as well as questions that I want there to showcase who she is as a person and why she makes the decisions and how her art affects not only her, but then how she's seen it spread to the people that follow her most. And I'm also opening up questions that you guys can ask in our Discord community. There is literally a, what are those called? Channel specifically meant for questions for Babs. So if you have a question you would like to ask or have me ask her, definitely put it in there. And to be honest, I'm going to be doing at least an artist interview every month for, I guess, the indefinite future, depending on how long this lockdown lasts. So I will be asking a lot of questions to a lot of people, but I want to ask questions that aren't normally asked. So if you have a good question that you want to see an artist ask, that is more than just, the basic questions, please help me and tell me what question you would like asked, because honestly, I think it's good to have a variety of questions that maybe I'm not even familiar with asking and wouldn't even think about asking. And I think that's the best way to do these type of interviews.
Oh, Simon says the first time I tried to use painter's tape on my drawing to get a clean line, as I was lifting it off, it rips off some of the fiber from the paper.
Mm-hmm.
I know I do that because when we stick them on the back of the paper, sometimes we pull it off, it does that. But
yeah, never on the front.
When it's on your drawing, yeah.
Sorry, Simon.
Lesson learned, it'll never happen again.
Right. The other thing I should mention is obviously I'm not going to be drawing on the areas that are the body of the fox, only on the pole part.
Oh, and Dria's heading back to work. She just wanted to say goodbye.
Oh, well, bye, Drea. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, so I have some blood coming out of the mouth of the fox. So I'm going to quickly dab some of that, and we're going to let this one dry.
Nice.
Okay.
All right.
Another one ready to be dried.
Should we hold off still on discoveries? Still
Yeah.
do?
Yeah, I'm going to do all the glue first, I think.
Okay, for the first 4.
Yeah. So we're going to do increments of 4.
So
we'll do 4. Yeah. So we'll do 4 gold or fold. God, I can't even talk today. So we're going to be doing 4 gluing and then 4 golding. Oh, man. Why is it hard for me to talk today? I was so flustered with YouTube. Okay. So with shadow prints, this one's pretty easy. I'm just going to be doing the crown of the stag, and that's it. So this one, it's just going to take a very steady hand, and you could tape it off, but honestly, I don't think it's worth it considering how small it is. But if you are nervous, if you want to create like curved tape, I can kind of show you how to do that. So essentially when I rip it, I'm kind of ripping it to create a slight curvature. And then that you can add like that. And then if I need a specific, it's like it looks like I want to get the horn here. It goes up a little bit. It's a lot of very tedious tape ripping, but if you do it right, you can cover the area that you want to stay protected. Then here, you definitely don't want to be holding the brush with the gold on it, or else you might be accidentally touching your canvas. So something like that. You can see how, let me move it up. You can see how I'm covering the area of the head that I don't want covered, but I'm still leaving area for the crown. And if you want it to be edited even more precise, you can use a X-Acto knife, but be careful not to cut too far into the canvas, obviously. Or just use your nail and push it just slightly on the edge of the drawing. So for this one, same thing. Don't take a lot of glue, just a little bit.
Who says, how do you know what hardness of leaf is right for you?
Hardness of leaf.
Is there?
To be honest, I didn't even know there was a hardness of leaf.
I'm trying to see them here. It's like 5 grams. I wonder if there's ones that, does it condense it more?
To be honest, I don't know the answer to that.
That's good to know, though.
Because I've never heard of gold leaf having a hardness. I know if you're working with real gold leaf, there are some tricks you can do. I've had people tell me that you can paint the underdrawing of what you're going to gold leaf a red tone, and it'll help the gold flourish more. I've had people tell me about how to end the drawing with the gold leaf, but yeah, I've never heard of the hardness.
The flakes are flying around already.
Are they?
Yeah. We're just inhaling some gold leaf right now. It's fine.
And I'm going to have to vacuum like crazy when this is over. Because it's only going to get worse once I actually start golding.
Oops. Hang on.
What?
I must have just misread it. I have leaves on my mind right now. How do you know what hardness of lead is right for you?
Oh.
Guys, it's gold leafing, okay? My mind's on one topic at a time.
So how do I know which hardness of lead? It took a lot of experimenting. I'm currently mostly using a 2H pencil, which is a harder pencil. And I'll do that for primarily the entire drawing. And then I'll come in with a HB. I'll edge out the drawing, and then I'll push some of the dark areas. But then where I really want there to be a punch of value, I'll work with either a 2B, 4B, or a 9B, depending on how dark I really want to get it. But typically 80% of my drawing is with a 2H. And most mechanical pencils, most pencils that you might work with, like a number 2 pencil, are all HB. So they're right in the middle of the range of being hard or being black. And that's what the B stands for, and that's what the H stands for, blackness and hardness. So I try to work with a hard pencil first to create more of the softer values and create the forms, but still have the ability to erase it all if I need to. And then I'll go back with darker pencils to help push out the values in the forms. Ooh, see, I gotta be careful with doing these intricate shapes because if I come up and talk and then go back down, I might forget where I left off. The only thing that I will say about this glue is I wish it had... Oh, well, thank you, Amsburpy, for subscribing. Amsgurpie?
Where'd you get burpee from that?
Long day already.
Right.
What time is it? It's almost 1 o'clock. It's been a long day. Okay, I think I got the 3 crown spikes. I'm going to go over it one more time just to make sure. What?
No, I feel bad. I just let him leave.
Well, thank you, Delisa Barreto.
Oh.
Barreto. Man, I am sorry to everyone's name who I butcher on this stream, but thank you. I should mention the subscriber goal is almost 3/4, so I will be doing a Let's Play a Game stream. I think I'm going to be doing League of Legends. I'm going to do my best to enjoy the game for once. No, I'm kidding.
Possible?
I have been enjoying it recently. I got a little frustrated on Saturday night, but I'm telling you, the only game that kind of gets under my skin a little bit. But I get just kind of quiet. I just internalize it. But I'm going to have a good time on the stream whenever the goal hits, and I'm going to play Ziggs, so I'll just be bouncing around, throwing bombs everywhere, and it'll be a good time. Even if I do horrible and I lose and it's my fault, it's okay. I'm going to have a good time with it. So that is the goal. And then the member goal is when I get 30 members, I'll be doing an exclusive member-only stream. And members also get to use exclusive emojis in the chat, which Josh can show you.
Can show some emojis.
And I think when we hit, I think I need 1 or 2 more, and we get another emoji that we can add. So I love that YouTube grants more emojis based on how many members you have, but they give you a lot. And it's not like we're Twitch, where even if you had 10 members, you only get like 1 or 2 emojis, where already we have 6, which is pretty great. All right, this one's done. If I missed any area, I will get it in the editing stage, but I feel pretty good that I hit all the points of that crown. Okay.
And then we'll circle back to Discovery after this one.
So then here is... Yes, so then we will go back to the first one I did, because like we said, we're going to do them in increments of 4. So this is my Demon's Facade. This is by far my most popular YouTube video that I've done. It's just me in the backyard Goldleafing. I still don't know exactly why, because there's no editing. I didn't do any fancy trick. I literally just turned my camera phone on, record, and just talked during the entire time. Oh, you know what? Oh, is Tyler
Tyler's
here?
Yeah.
Hey, Tyler.
Hi, Team and Shua.
Sketch Geek is one of my old roommates that lived at the house, and he is still a dear friend. So for this one, I'm going to work with a bigger brush, and for this, it's much easier to grab bigger areas. Well, thank you, Adele Fairclaw, for subscribing. Is that how you say it? Fairclaw? I think so. Man, one of these names I'm going to say with confidence and not feel like I'm butchering it. Okay, so for this one, you still don't have to dab too much into the glue. I mean, this is a little heavy, but since I'm covering a larger area, that'll be fine. So I'm going to do... I should do the left side first so that I don't rub my hand in the glue. Little pro tip that I rarely follow myself. So let's go ahead. So edging out a drawing with a paintbrush, honestly, just practice doing this on something that maybe you don't need to worry about ruining. Because a lot of it is picking up the glue, creating kind of a flat surface amount of glue, and then literally as you're edging it out, some of that glue will pool to the edge of the brush, and you kind of just push it over that graphite line. I guess I should say in this case, remember, this is a canvas print, so this isn't real graphite. Otherwise, the glue would mess up the graphite quite a bit. There you go. So it's a lot of just keep it steady and then push it. Like that. So now that I have the edge done, I gotta get a little bit more of these intricate spaces here. Now, if you do miss a spot, don't worry. There is a way to fix it. And I'm sure one of these will have an area that I want to touch up on. So then I will show you live how to fix any of the gold leaf issues. So since this brush is just fat enough, I'm going to go ahead and switch back to my smaller brush so that I don't accidentally push it over the horns or the hairs. Oh, hi, Astrid.
Oh, Astrid, hello. Oh.
Did she leave?
She's just rolling on the floor right now. She's so silly.
We have a wonderful calico cat who's a little weird, but I wouldn't have her any other way.
I think she's been kind of annoyed that we're home all the time right now, but she has to deal with it.
Yeah, Astrid, get a hobby.
Yeah, Astrid. Jonathan says, when and why did gold, white, and graphic become your signature? Chiming in big love from Scotland. And Jonathan's hand-grinding coffee as he watches this, which sounds really good right now. Oh yeah, I can get some tea started.
Would you? Let's have a fun tea today.
Blueberry pie?
No, I've been doing blueberry all last week.
Oh, okay.
Do like I don't know. Surprise me. Just not cold chaser and nothing blueberry.
Okay.
You're right.
Thank you.
Thank you, babe. Thank you.
I'll be right back.
So how did my theme become white and gold? So this honestly was just years of experimenting within what I enjoy doing and how I present my work. A lot of it was my work used to be all color and it was all digital, and my backdrop used to be black, and it was basically looking at what other people do at conventions and then deciding what I'm going to adopt as my own. And since most people had black backdrops because it shows off art really well, I also adopted that. But then over time, I noticed how my pencil drawings were getting more attention than my color ones were. And I slowly made the shift to adding more and more pencil to eventually I made a decision one year where I'm going to cut out all color, all fan art, and it all became my pencil original stuff. And I made double what I normally did at that con. And it was really surprising. I was like, oh my gosh, I think there's something here. I'm gonna really go for it. So the more I thought about a white and gold booth, or a white and a grayscale booth essentially, because all my art is pencil, it's all grayscale, I realized I needed an accent color to help pop my pencil stuff because I didn't want my booth just to fade into the background, especially against all these other convention booths that are big and colorful and are fun, and mine looked kind of drab in comparison. So I decided that I was going to go with gold because I've always been attracted to gold, and it always has this underlying theme of being decadent or fancy, and I wanted to add that to my drawings even, and that's why I do the Goldleafing, just to give it a bit more pizzazz than just a pencil drawing can do on its own. Because when I first started doing all graphite, I did notice there was some prejudice against pencil stuff that I had to fight. And I don't really have to fight as much anymore, but I did get a lot of people coming up to my booth saying things along the lines of, when are you going to finish this? When are you going to color? So it was something I had to deal with for like 2 years. But then eventually my booth became so gaudy and intense, I think I had people stop asking. And I think it was because it almost was obvious that this is the finished product. I wasn't going to be pushing it any further. So honestly, it just kind of happened organically. I didn't just sit down and be thinking, what can I make, or what color palette work am I going to do for my art, and that's what my brand's going to be. It just kind of led into that organically, which I think is honestly the best way to come across your brand, is not to force it, but to let it just happen. And you can kind of pick up signals on what people are reacting to and what you as an artist react to and what you enjoy doing, because you don't want to just, make a booth or make a brand that you're not even satisfied with. So instead, listen to the reaction, but also make sure it feels genuine in your place of wanting to make that your look. Oops. Okay, let's see here. Simon's asking, this is all a little off topic, but wanting to sell prints and things, something I've been thinking about. Would you recommend things like Etsy or Redbubble or Society6? So I have a lot of friends that use all three, and there's a big debate on which is the best to use. Some people would say never go on Redbubble. Some people would say Etsy takes too big of a percentage. You should only sell things on your personal site. Then other people would say, well, your personal site doesn't get the traction or the traffic that Etsy can get, and you might get people that wouldn't find you normally, buy from you because of Etsy search engine. So all these points can be valid depending on who you are and how you've been marketing yourself. So for you making prints, you could do Redbubble and Society6 and all these other places that do like print-on-demand services. But I would at least experiment with them, and then you'll kind of learn what works for you, what doesn't. It took me a while to realize I actually do enjoy working with Etsy, and I don't like working with print-on-demand stuff. But that's not to say it won't work for you. I've had friends that have great success with those sites, and I don't want to sway you out of it. If you're already kind of feeling an itch to do it, I would say just do it. There's no right time to start, and the only way you can actually fail, and it's kind of like a ongoing thing for ours, is just if you don't try. You really can't fail if you don't try, because if you try and it doesn't work to the expectation you had, you learn from it. And then you adjust, and then you do something either a little different or you do it better. Honestly, I think artists with the most tenacity oftentimes are the ones that really make it, and they just keep pushing through and admitting when they're wrong, but then fix it, they correct it, they get back up. Well, welcome back, Shua.
Oh, hello. The water is heating up.
Thank you. I'm going to do a really intricate area. If there's any questions, I'm going to do the eyelash area here.
Oh, yeah. Asian Girl 1 says, when did you start drawing? Do you have any old art you can show us? I'm a beginner drawer on Instagram. Your art really inspires me.
Oops. That's literally what I'm doing with Babs on Friday. I want her to show off some of her older work and then talk about when she kind of noticed a shift in her work, change from more amateur to more professional looking, and if she was able to recognize that. So for myself, it definitely was... Actually, the canvas is in the back room. It's always on my mind. Could you grab that?
Oh, yeah.
So there was a drawing that I did specifically that, honestly, I think was the shift for me. Not only going from color to pencil, but for me realizing that this was my style and this was the style I want to continue with. And I was in a really kind of bad period of my life. I was pretty heartbroken, and I was feeling kind of down on myself, and I wasn't able to tell anyone because I wasn't even out at that time. And it was a crush that I had on a boy, and it was devastating because I had no one to talk to. So I turned to my art, and there was this drawing I did specifically that Josh is bringing, and it really changed my course of action because at that time I also met Alan Williams, who's my art hero, and he kind of showed me how pencils can be a finished product, but not only that, but people have an interest in it. So without meeting Alan Williams, I don't know where I would be right now. So I'm very grateful and thankful to him, and I tell him every single time I see him. And one time he actually gave me one of his original drawings, which now I have framed by my work desk as a reminder to keep pushing in graphite. But my older drawings, I mean, you can look at my old DeviantArt. My DeviantArt is TVONN9, and if you just scroll down, you'll see it. It's my old digital stuff, my high school stuff, and I had an entire stream before where I talked about my high school, college art, and then my work with CG Cookie. And the way that I think it's evolved over the years is I have an eye for large empty space and then intricate small space. I really like that duality. I really like playing with concepts. I like there to be a story that seems to be obviously written in the drawing itself.
Ba-bam.
Yes. Thank you, Shua.
There we go.
So this was the drawing I was talking about. You can kind of see his more melancholic face and then all this explosions happening out the back of his head. This was actually based on the singer, or the reference image I got was from MGMT's lead singer. But I liked the way he looked in this picture where it was kind of Mona Lisa smile, where you can't tell if he's smiling, but you can kind of tell it's a sad smile. And that's how I was feeling at the time, where my whole theme at that time was smile doesn't mean happy. Sometimes it just means you're strong. And to push through even hard times with a smile, I think is a test and attribute of strength and something that I always try to have, because I've seen people in my life that I admire and I look up to, and they seem to have that perseverance, and I wanted to also have that attribute. So I've been doing my best to have that, and that drawing changed my life. So I'm very attached to it. But yeah, I did that one 6 years ago.
Amy is so sweet. Amy says, I remember seeing your artwork in college, and I've always been blown away by what you do.
Oh, thank you, Amy.
Celine says, it's funny, back when I discovered you through CG Cookie, I only did pencil art and really admire your colored pieces. Now I mainly do color, and your pencil drawings make me want to do it again.
Well, that's funny.
Anwar says, I feel like switching to traditional has helped and is really fun. Do you think, in your own way, that traditional is better than digital when it comes to develop good anatomy and lighting skills?
Oh, you're setting me up for a trap. I'm not going to say which one I like better, but I will say, what does traditional give me? Traditional forces me to have patience, because with digital you can have a large area of color or gradations, or you can do like spit painting and edit and move things. With pencils, you can't create something that looks intricate and detailed quickly. You kind of have to work with it. And how did Pete describe it? He said it's kind of like a printer or a scanner in a way, because as you're going through and doing the detailing, you have to kind of do each individually. Where at digital, you could even have a stamp and just literally slap it on your Photoshop file, and it creates this intricate pattern, or grab a texture overlay from Google image search. And there's so many tricks to digital that I think I'm not knocking on it, but you can definitely make art quicker and more efficiently than you can with pencil. Pencil is a very slow medium. Same with oil. Oil is even slower. And I think why I like pencil is because I consider myself a pretty patient person. So this is a medium that can reflect my personality. And I think pencils, anyone that does really intricate pencil work, usually is also a pretty patient person. Or at least in the way, the artists that I've met, that seems to be true. All right, and that one is done.
Awesome.
So we have 4 done, correct?
Yes, 4 are glued up and ready. And then I will grab Discovery for you.
All right, so we're going to move on to Goldleafing. So we're going to start with our first one, Discovery. This one just had the dots. This is the easiest thing in the world. So essentially, there are 2 plates. Tim, look at you.
Prepared as always.
I would not say as always.
Tyler says I'll give you $6 for it.
For what? Whatever I'm selling, I'm not selling it to you, Tyler. Not for $6. Okay, so I'm gonna use one of my bags that I already had open. So how do you work with gold leaf? Let me grab where's the brush that I want to use? This one. I'm gonna work with a smaller one for this, since it's literally just the dots. So since I'm not working against the outdoor elements of the wind, I can definitely not have to worry about the gold being, flying off my canvas into the grass. My neighbors were not happy. But for today, essentially I'm going to put a little bit on the canvas for each of these roughly, because you don't need a lot. I think you might surprise yourself with how little you might need, or at least for areas like this. For giant areas, you will definitely need a good amount of gold leaf. But for something like this, literally, you just spread it around. Astrid.
Oh, get her.
Scratching something she's not supposed to be. Like that. And when you brush it, you kind of brush in every direction against the grain of the gold leaf. Like that. It may be kind of hard to see because of all the other flakes on. So let me grab my fat brush. And we're going to push it onto the plate. Move it like this. You can kind of see how I'm working this. And literally, so you can now start to see the dots appear. But we still got to do some cleanup work because you want to save as much gold leaf as you can. Not that this is the most expensive product unless you're working with real gold leaf. If you're working with real gold leaf, make sure you collect every speck of gold that you can.
Oh my god, I couldn't even imagine.
I mean, eventually I would like to do real gold leaf because, I mean, it works in the same way. So if you can do it with the hobby gold leaf, you can definitely do it with real gold leaf. But yeah, the fear of literally losing money by how much gold you're misplacing.
All I think about is the day we did this outside and that gust of wind came through.
The worst.
Could you imagine, if you had real gold?
So once you have it pretty much set, you work with your fat brush and basically swipe it down. Try to collect it in whatever reservoir you have. In my case, I have a paper plate that I found. And there you go. So obviously this one was a little bit of an easy one. Let's go ahead and show you something that's a little more intricate. Now to end all these canvases, I usually take them either in the garage or outside, and I'll do a heavier swiping pass just to make sure that all the gold little specks are off.
Next one.
All right, coming back to our relinquished one. This is where we taped the straight line. So for this one, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to grab my small brush.
On my way.
See, I got to be careful. It's going to get in my keyboard.
Let's see. Mafu says, have you ever mixed pencil and pen art? I found it pretty cool.
Yeah. Actually, I have before. There is definitely something great about working with pen. It's not my favorite medium to work with, but I do work way faster, I notice. I think because of the fact that you have to commit to pen, where pencil you can obviously shift things around. So, if you enjoy the combination of the two, though, it usually can create a really cool result. But yeah, I'm definitely more of just a simply pencil guy. So same thing that I did the last one. You really don't have to push it into the glue. And the more dry that the glue is, I've found it sticks better, which it sounds like it wouldn't be the case, but it really does. It works better as dry as it is. I mean, I wouldn't let it sit out for 2 weeks and then try Goldleafing. I've never tried that, but I assume it wouldn't work as well as if you did it, like an hour later. There we go. So kind of just brush it along. Once you have the areas that you had glue completely covered, you want to get rid of the excess, and that way you're not wasting a bunch of this gold. I have to be careful with how I even breathe on the canvas because this material is really light, so it can get blown away very quickly.
The tea is steeping.
Oh, well, thank you.
We're having a little reindeer's drool. It's the name.
Perfect.
It's got a little bit of everything in there.
Actually, that sounds like a good one for today. Reindeer's drool. So now, for a lot of the excess, because you can tell it still looks pretty messy, essentially, I try to do what's called buffing. It's where you apply a little bit of pressure, not too much, but you kind of move in like small circles. Oh, now I'm saying like. I watched this documentary yesterday, and I noticed how much the everyone that was being interviewed used the word like. It was on a documentary on, what was his name? Little Peep.
Little Peep, yeah.
Everyone used the word like. And it became like fixated on it. And now I'm using it. go.
Oh, this is a good question. Anwar says, thank you so much for answering these questions. One thing I was curious is, do you have any calm music recommendation while drawing? Tim's drawing music is
it's always calm.
Over, but it is always calm.
So my friends would usually say I have floaty music taste. What was I just listening to?
I feel like
you know what? No, I'll get busted if I play this on the stream.
Yeah.
Here, wait, hold on.
I feel like you have specific playlists you listen to depending on what you're drawing.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them are very just floaty, fluid music. Like even right now, my YouTube recommendations are either songs that are slowed down and reverbed, DJ Pool Boy, Beach House,
I mean, most
Aphex
of the time you
Twin.
can't even like. There's words, but you can't even understand them because they're so like muffly.
But for those of you who are in the Discord, I can post. Or I guess I can put it on YouTube. This is one of my top 5 favorite songs, but like that's a good example of something I would listen to just on repeat while I'm working. But my number one, it's a little song called "Fade Into You" by Mazzy Star.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure if you've watched, what was the 13 Reasons Why?
No, you're thinking of Lord Huron.
Oh crap! Which one am I thinking of?
The Night We Met.
That's right.
I mean, that is also.
Wasn't Fade Into You on? I swear Fade Into You was on 13 Reasons Why.
It was in something recently where it like took me by surprise. I was like, "What? Why is this song playing now?" I get protective of my kind of floaty music choices, and not even in the way of I found it first, but in a way of the song means something so different to me, and then being used so like trivialized in a like 13 Reasons Why or something that I just feel like doesn't have a lot of depth, even though I did binge watch all of 13 Reasons Why, all 3 seasons.
Like everyone has, they just don't fit it.
I mean, it's one of those shows I can openly admit I don't think is great, but it's good background fodder. Astrid.
She wants in that tool closet so bad. It's like, what's in there? I don't know. She's onto something.
Oh, you can see how it also got the spit on the mouth. So I even forgot about the blood that's coming out of the fox. But since it sticks so easily to the glue, just from me pushing around the excess, the glue grabbed it. So that's why when I tell people goldleafing is so easy, it really is. So for this one, there's a lot of speckle on this. This one I will have to take outside and do the final pass. But for you guys, I will do the tape removal now. Where normally you'd also want to do this part outside. Oops. Let me buff the corner. Don't forget to buff the edges. That's something that I do forget to do from time to time. Edges are important. Okay, let's see how clean this turned out. So usually when I'm pulling, I try not to pull toward the gold. I try to pull away from the gold. Woo. We got a pretty clean line on this side. Let's see how the other line goes. I did read you're supposed to do it quicker, so I don't know why I'm going slow. Woo!
Nice.
And there we go.
Oh, I like the dimensions up there, how it did that.
Right? Let's get a nice, clean gold line. But this one I will definitely have to brush off outside. So just try not to breathe on it too heavily, or else gold will be flying everywhere. Oh no, my desk is already a mess. I'll clean after
Your
the stream.
shorts.
My room was looking so good.
Right, we'll get it all vacuumed up. It's just the struggles of goldleafing. Astrid, don't attack me.
Sarah Barra, hello.
All right.
So then our next one will be our shadow prints with the crown that we did a little bit of the tape off. You can see above there. So for this one, I'm going to grab what's nice about Gold Leaf is you can literally push your brush into the excess that might be around what you're working, your workstation, and it should pick it up. And then you can just apply it right on there. So I might grab some of this gold that's just sitting on the side of my desk, and then put it on. And this one I will definitely... I gotta stop talking into the gold. I have a very audible exhale when I laugh. So sometimes if I do my or whatever noise I make, my autopilot noise, I blow into the gold. So I gotta be careful not to do that today.
You have to laugh breathing in.
Can I do that?
Can you laugh?
No, I can't. I don't even want to try it.
An inhale laugh.
Oh, that looks good. I was nervous because I was talking so much. I wasn't sure if I got all the crown spikes. But it looks like we did. Same thing as the last one. Do a little bit of buffing. Get those edges nice and crisp. Just do that circular pattern. And then, just like the last one, pull it off. Ah, beautiful. Oop, I am noticing... Oh no, we're good. There we go. Move it so you can see it. See? You got a little gold crown. Sometimes I learned with gold, it's the minimal amount that you add can add the most effect. So using gold subtly can create a very powerful impact. So for this one, I was thinking of where I could add gold, and as maybe thinking in the background, I could add a circle or some fireflies. But honestly, just adding, let me push the gold in here really quick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, could you bring the plate over?
Yeah.
But for this one, just adding the plate creates such a powerful effect. Oop, shouldn't push it too hard.
There's an extra though.
There we go.
Nice. There's a little speck over there too.
I don't want to blow it.
Yeah.
So for this one though, it created a nice, powerful effect on just having the crown, because then the rest of the drawing complements it by being so bold that having a very bold, even bolder crown that's golded, just, I don't know, enhances the look to it, in my opinion.
Beautiful.
All right. Is that all?
One more to go.
One more.
For the first set.
One more for the first set, and then we got 2 more sets. I'll probably take a quick bathroom break after this one, just because I was so frantic before the stream started, I forgot to go to the bathroom.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
This is the one that usually is the most impressive. You know what, though? The glue is not completely dry.
Oh, is it not yet?
Yep. Usually you can tell if there's still a sheen when you look at it. There should be oh, you definitely won't be able to see this on the camera. But I can still tell there's a little bit of a pocket where it's wet. So you know what? We're going to wait on this one, probably another 20 minutes. Let's grab the next 4.
All right.
And you know what? I'll grab the next 4. Can you, because then I have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Could you just talk for 2 minutes? Shua's going to take over the stream.
This is my stream now.
Teach them all you know, Shua.
It's mutiny. So, anyone have any personal questions about Tim while he is stepping away? Actually, do you guys want to see Astrid? Because she's just been chilling out. Come here, Astrid. Oh. Oh my goodness. Want to come say hello to everyone? Oh. Astrid. She's being a very whiny kitty lately. I don't know if she's just been a little stressed out. Oh yeah, I mean Animal Crossing's been super great. Wait, Tyler, did you get Animal Crossing yet? I think today, oh gosh, I don't even know. I'm trying to work on the inside of my house because I think I'm going to wait on paying off Tom Nook right now and just enjoy creating things. Build my house up a little bit. Oh, Astrid. This is a Shua Plays Games stream with Astrid. Astrid.
Okay.
Kyle, how excited are you about the addition of toilets in Animal Crossing? It's pretty good. Actually, I'd like that you can actually make a full house if you want to now, because you can even make a kitchen. They have like little kitchenettes and stuff. I'm like, I can make a cute little house. Have a kitchen, bathroom, guest room. Oh, are we on to the next set?
Yep.
All right.
As I have them here and there.
Okay, so this one
And
and
those,
those two.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Moving on to our next 4. So I'm going to be doing, this is my little red drawing, or little red's woof. And I'm going to be doing the buttons on the woof and then the giant one on her hoodie. Or her cape, I should say. So this is another one that I'm going to be wanting, not the gold, I want the glue. Ooh. See, I talked into the gold.
Yeah, you talked.
Gotta be careful.
Yeah, we're good.
You can't touch the gold though, or it'll stick to your fingers.
We do a gold leaf me next time. Just gold leaf
Gold
my
leaf your entire body.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? Okay. What was I going to mention? Oh, on Netflix, a new docu-series came out yesterday called the Tiger King? Tiger King. I definitely recommend it. The first 3 episodes were so explosive and funny. It's basically about people that live with large animals, specifically tigers, and how they're all nuts. And specifically, this one gets even more crazy because the main character, the Tiger King, is a self-proclaimed hillbilly, redneck, white trash, gay, polygamy, tiger lover, and he owns this giant it's kind of like a zoo, but mainly with large cats. And then he is like combating his rival in Florida, this woman who saves giant cats from being breeded, but then they're at like each other's neck, and eventually it gets so bad that he puts a hit on her and wants to murder her. And it's beyond entertaining. I was very, very excited yesterday because I was working on creating a custom font and doing a lot of YouTube thumbnail stuff. It's not the most fun work, but having this in the background was beyond entertaining. So I definitely recommend it if you have a Netflix subscription. It's called The Tiger King. At least the first 3 episodes. It kind of ends on a sad note, but the first 3 episodes are great. So for this one, just like I did with the dots, I want to be careful that I'm not pushing too hard down on the brush, or else it'll splay the bristles of the brush, and it'll create a bigger circle than I want. So I'll be really careful with this part.
Sarah Beth asks, are you going to be posting all of these on your Insta? They are so gorgeous.
Oh, I mean, I guess I could. I wasn't planning to, but yeah, I could. Because like the results. Yeah, I can do that. What am I saying? Of course I can do that.
Tyler asks, is it a mockumentary? Kind of feels like that.
I
probably, right?
almost wish. No, it's real. I mean, I love mockumentaries, don't get me wrong, but this was real. This is real life. And the main 3 characters are all tiger lovers. They're all nuts. And they even mentioned that about anyone that owns a tiger is nuts. And the way that they explain it, and they follow these people for quite a while, like a few years. Someone, I don't want to spoil too much, but I mean, there's deaths that happen. There are people losing limbs. I mean, it was nuts. There's arson, or what's that called?
Arson, yeah.
There's arson at one point,
yeah.
And then you kind of figure out that it was the Tiger King that did it to himself so that he wouldn't have footage of a TV crew that came to film him for a reality TV show so that he wouldn't get busted for the mistreatment of animals. So then he pretended like someone came and lit up his entire warehouse that killed alligators and all of the files and footage of the reality TV show. So what's funny is it's a documentary about this guy, but then like a little bit into the documentary, a film crew wants to film him for a reality TV show. So then you have a documentary filming a TV show about this guy. Oh, it's so funny. It's so good.
Hectic.
It's
What
so
a
good.
life to live.
I think that's why I was so entertained, because these are real people,
Yeah.
and this is their day-to-day. I think what was better was the people that talk about working on the farm, and one of them's missing an arm, one of them's missing 2 of their legs, and they still do it. They love it. And the girl that lost her arm, she was talking about how she wanted to get out of the hospital quick after the tiger ripped it off, because she didn't want them blaming Tiger Jack for what happened and wanted to pretend like things were okay. So she got back and went back to working on the farm, and anytime an interview came up to her, she's like, yeah, it's my life, and, there are precautions that I must not have met.
Like, would you consider that a cult then? Because they're clearly... Do you think they're either, like, brainwashed by him, or they just have such a mad respect that they're like...
So,
I guess in a way that's also...
Well, episode 2 is literally, I think it's called Cult, or something where it's cultivating a cult. And they talk about how all these lion people need a lot of workers working at their zoos or farms, whatever you want to call them. And they talk about how they're all brainwashed. And the one guy I've seen before, he has like a long white ponytail, and he has a horde of women that work for him. They all change their name to be more lioness sounding.
Oh my God, are you kidding?
No, and some of them were legally changed to this weird name that they were given. And then as they walk around the area, they dress in like cheetah-clad outfits.
Oh my God.
And then the best part, I didn't even get to the other best part. The woman that lives in Florida, I feel like I'm basically explaining the whole thing. But basically, there's a woman in Florida who is anti anyone breeding large cats. But ironically, she also owns a large cat zoo, but she only takes the ones in, and so that they don't breed anymore, and then they'll just die naturally, and there won't be any more breeding of large cats. But what you find out is the Tiger King and this woman have such a rivalry. Not only is this murder hit put on her, but you find out that her husband went mysteriously missing 20 years ago, and he also had $20 million that she pretty much inherited to keep going with the cats, and they were about to get a divorce before he mysteriously disappeared. And in his new will and testament, she added "in case of disappearance" to it. So clearly, everyone's basically saying she killed her husband and then fed him to the tigers. Oh my gosh, this was such a fun ride to watch. Anyways, I just get really excited about it.
Spoilers, Tim. Jeez.
Well, I didn't spoil the second half, which I know this is all in like the first half.
See, I only know the first half from that YouTube video I watched about him, so I don't know what else went on. But I just know even she was a little sketchy. Hey, Daniel.
Hey, Daniel.
Welcome.
Oh, Daniel, you should know I have your collaboration sitting behind me. My best friend Kat walked in and thought that was one of the best pieces I've ever done. So I think you should know we got to finish that someday. The people need to see it. You know what? I can show it on the screen. This is what Daniel and I are working on. It's our first collab. You can follow him at Hemlock on Instagram. I've been talking so much about Tiger King. I'm trying to remember which button I did on this wolf and which one I didn't do.
Well, you want to...
Okay, it's just this one. Usually you can tell because there's a little bit more of a sheen to the glue than the canvas. But yeah, just know it doesn't really end on the happiest notes, though. Okay. The last one is the button on her. Do that really quick.
Aisha says, hi, new person here. Hello, Aisha.
Hey, Aisha.
Says, this is gorgeous. A switch up of Red Riding Hood.
You bet. Yeah, I want it to be where they're friends. And this was done during a Drawltober challenge a couple years ago. And I wanted the wolf to be inspired by one of my favorite kid TV shows, Digimon. So he has 3 Weregurumon elements, which are the brass knuckles, the jacket, and then the skull pattern on the jeans. Mm-hmm. But then the wolf, I just wanted him to have a very structural shape look to him.
I mean, the
Because it's
long
something
arms are
different.
definitely really Digimon too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If you ever see me draw anything with long arms, it's because of Digimon's influences on me as a child. So that one is done.
Beautiful.
We'll let the gold dry. I'm
Um.
going to drink some of this tea.
Oh yeah. Go to town. I might start moving some of these ones that are done already out to the other room.
Yeah, oh, that's a good idea. Thank you. Josh is our runaround person today. He's being very helpful.
Oh yeah. Next up.
Next up, my Vindication Angel. So this one, I'm going to be doing the inner ring here. This one's going to take a little bit more concentration, so I might have my head down a little more than I normally do. I'm going to turn this one upside down. Okay. So on this one, I got to keep a really steady hand and do my best not to go too much outside of the ring. Whew. Get all your jitters out. Otherwise, you're going to have a misshapen ring here. Ooh. So for areas like this, you could tape it off. I mean, it would be a very difficult tape off. You'd probably have to use an X-Acto knife. But honestly, I feel pretty comfortable doing this with my hand. I just got to keep it very steady. You know what? This glue that I'm using has been, I let it sit for too long in the plate. I got to put in a little bit more glue that's not already hardening. Not a lot, just a little. And Josh, could you bring a paper towel?
Yeah.
Thank you. Sometimes if my brush gets a little gross from the glue drying, I'll just paper towel it off.
I'm setting this right.
Thank you. So this one you really don't want to put too much glue on because as you're doing the circle, if you have too much, it'll create a bubbly circle. So I try to stay consistent with how much glue I have on my brush. Now I believe there are a few canvases today that have a circle or a ring on them. So I'm gonna have to concentrate a little bit on a couple of these. Same thing. Definitely the fresh glue is helping me. So for an image like this one, I want to keep turning it so that I get the natural curve of my wrist movement. And that way the ring will look closer to a perfect circle than if I tried to do it at like weird, awkward angles. So this one is going to be one of those where you kind of hope it works out because of the fact that I'm working, even on this part of the ring, it's almost white on white, and the glue is very hard to see. So this one is going to be, hopefully it works out.
We'll see what happens. Ooh.
I mean, thankfully, even if you mess up with the gold, you can use the painter's tape and you can lift the gold off. So it's not permanent when you're working on canvases, especially ones that are printed like this. You can edit them even after.
The baby dragon! Oh, yeah. I love this one.
So I call this one my Ember Hatchling. It's a little dragon egg. And the dragon just bursting out from being born. So this, I do the little speckles, fireflies, whatever you want to call it, and then the little flame that's coming out of his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do the flame first. Yeah, I'll do the flame first.
Daniel says, I'm loving all the streams. They make my days better.
Oh, thank you, Daniel.
Yeah, how are you doing, Daniel? Are you working from home right now? Or do they still have you going in?
Yeah, it's these times where we just got to band together. You know, we're going to make it through. We're all stuck in this weird, awkward situation. And the only thing we can do is have a good attitude to get through it. Because I think it'd be really tough. I know some of my friends are having a harder time than others. And you encourage those that are around you that are seemingly having a tougher time. Because for Josh and I, this has been not the worst of times.
Well, after the house project, we don't have to
pay
for this year. That was...
I did have a freak out. When we initially heard of the corona and all the cons were being canceled, I had a very hefty exterior bill to replace the roof, the siding, and the gutters on my house. But Josh was able to call them and delay it till next year. So then that was a huge weight off my shoulders.
Tim's demeanor changed like right away. It was just a weight off your shoulders because that was definitely a lot of stress at first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now it's just like a lot of people around us that are like my best friend. She is off work right now. They're saying for 2 weeks, but you know it looks like it's probably longer than that. So she has zero income coming in. It's definitely a little bit of a rough time.
I mean, I do hope the rumors that I saw about the money being sent to all of us will come true. From what we heard last, it was $2,000 every American will get. We'll see if that actually happens. I don't want to spread rumors or things that aren't true either, but that's what I heard.
Yes, Aisha says, yes, Digimon Vans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Digimon was so good.
It's kind of sad, though, as I tried rewatching it at the time, I think I was 27 when I tried rewatching it. It's a little rough as an adult watching Digimon because the humor and the animation and some of it just doesn't age well. But I decided not to watch more than 4 episodes and keep that in my nostalgia bank and let it thrive there because I still love the look of the Digimon and I think the designs of them are great. But rewatching it was a little harder as an adult.
It's not what it used to be. You know, we should watch the Digimon movie again, though.
Oh, yeah, I like the Digimon movie.
I love the Digimon movie. Plus, the soundtrack for that was so...
We're the kids in America.
Oh.
It was good.
Amy says, have you ever considered doing more free-form organic shapes with gold leaf instead of the predetermined shapes? Every time I say leaf, Is it gold lead? Is it gold lead or gold leaf?
Yeah, so I do work with a sponge sometimes. I do it on my giant tree piece, my Ascension drawing. And that one, I like having a more textured gold look and have the randomness add to it. This one's done.
Beautiful. All right, so let me grab the last one.
I'm hoping one of them is a random one. I didn't look at all my canvases too intently before we started. I know a lot of them are these controlled areas, though.
This will probably be another controlled one, right?
Yes. Hey, my Fall Bringer. This was one of my top 3 favorite drawings I did last year. So this little guy, I like to pretend, runs around in the month of September and is getting everyone ready for the month of October. So I call him Fall Bringer, and he waves this wand around, and little ghosts are following him. So literally, the spooky Ookie is following him wherever he goes. And I like that he's celebrating the beginning of fall.
I think, didn't you say you imagine him being a little bit smaller, but you just see this small little pumpkin guy running by?
Just imagine this 2-foot little pumpkin guy running around with this wand, and there's ghosts coming out of the back. I also am never going to sit in this chair for streams again.
Yeah, we got to get that. Yeah.
there's
So
no fix.
creaky.
It's
Do you want
done.
to use this turn? I'll go trade out.
Oh no. We're good for today.
Okay. Oh, Astrid,
Oh.
bless you. Her
Or
just
cat might be
allergies.
sick.
Yeah, I don't know if she's just not feeling good lately.
I mean, she has been eating a lot of our plants.
We have pretty much, I think we only have one plant in the house that isn't like safe for cats, but it's not in a place she can get to. So thankfully they're all safe, but I don't know if they can still give her a little like an upset stomach. It's okay,
Yeah,
Astrid.
probably a little bit.
Let's get caught up here a little bit. Oh, Jonathan, hey, I got to make it to Tim's stream.
Hey, wait, which John?
Jonathan
I know.
Miller.
Hey, Jonathan Miller. Oh, John. John, I actually met at a con. Was it last year? Yeah, it was last year, and they adopted a little child.
Oh.
It was this big thing for them. So congrats again.
Congratulations.
And welcome
That's
to the stream again. That's right. John was, I think, before.
Well,
you
thank you for
started doing
subscribing,
streams.
John.
Hey, thank you, John. Oh, wait, where's the bell?
First bed.
I do need a prettier sounding bell. I can't do that for every subscriber.
Oh, Daniel says he still works in the facility. I have to disinfect and clean everything all day.
Oh, no.
That's hard too because you're in like an environment where I feel there's so many people in one place. So, yeah, just please be careful, Daniel.
I mean, hell, even this morning I checked to see if Hobby Lobby was open because unfortunately that's where I get my gold from, even though I'm a homosexual. But I read online the owner's wife of Hobby Lobby was apparently told from God that this was a sign for them to stay open during these times and that it was God's will. So they're going to keep Hobby Lobby open throughout this. I was like, all right, well.
No comments on that. Simon says, being diabetic, it's pretty hard on my mental state. Thankfully, I don't have the money problems, but I can understand that this whole situation has definitely caused a lot of anxiety for everyone. It's insane to think how fast it escalated. Yeah, that is. I just that.
That's one shot.
Oh yeah. Are we gonna switch out? Hang on.
It's funny, Simon. As soon as you mentioned blood sugar, I immediately knew that you were diabetic, and since I have a lot of friends that are more than I'm surprised by how many friends I have that are diabetic. But it's like, yeah, every 2 hours or whatever it might be. And if you don't have the blood sugars regulated, we just did this one.
Did we just do that? What one did we start with?
Wait, did you bring in a double?
I mean, we can do Demon's Facade. No, I mean, that was the first one that you did in this set.
Did I already do 4?
Yeah.
Oh, I did. Wow.
Yeah.
We're moving quicker than I thought today.
Check out Demons and then go back to that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, Little Red was the first one. Here's that. How's it looking?
Yes. Yeah. This one should be fine now.
It looks maybe like a little bit on the right side still.
Oh, you know what? We're good. It's not lit.
Good. Okay.
All right, so we're going to put the glue over here. We're going to bring the gold leaf back. So now we're switching back gears into the gold leafing stage. So...
the good part, though, is I know Andrew said he did some research. He was saying that being diabetic doesn't increase, like, the risk of if you catch the virus. He says it wasn't anything, like, more severe.
Yeah, so our friend...
I hope that's the case. Yeah.
Andrew Art is also diabetic. And I feel like I've learned a lot from him about diabetes. And even we did a collaboration that was then donated. All the proceeds went to... What was it called? It's the donation research... Or no, not donation research.
I can pull
the
it
diabetes research for youth.
I think that was it, yeah.
I think a lot of us started freaking out if we have pre-existing conditions. I mean, even Josh, since he was a smoker back in the day, I was a little nervous for him in case he did get it because this is a respiratory virus, apparently. So we were... At least I was trying to be as precautious as I could because you never know. And since this is such a new virus, it's like you don't want to take... Or you want to take as many precautions as you can until this is fully understood. So this one will probably be one of the most fun ones on the stream, just because it is a larger area. Oh, that's right. I'm going to get the area in between the horns. And I can already tell I'm going to have to do some cleanup right there. There's a little spot that is missing, but I'm kind of glad so I can show you how to fix an area when you're doing gold leaf. So do a soft buffing. I can tell you want to ask a question.
Yeah, no, you're good. Amy says, I've been trying to apply for unemployment, but I think that the site is broken. Hopefully it gets fixed soon because I still need to pay my student loans.
I'm assuming it's overwhelmed like crazy right now.
That, yeah, everyone's... I know, my friend was thinking about doing it, but she was like, I might just wait a little bit just to let the initial like group of people apply. But yeah, I'm sure they're overloaded right now too. So let's remember those workers that work in unemployment too, because I'm sure they're like busy as everything right now. I just says, yeah, the cameras are in sync. Yeah, there's no third arm today.
Yeah, because I definitely don't have that.
Tucks it in quick.
Oh, gross.
Oh, wait, no, I wasn't talking about that. Stop.
Oh, wait, we need the other plate. Yeah. Could you hold that one?
Cheers, just play it.
So there's a lot of excess on this one.
Yeah, this one's...
So hold it under me.
Do you want to get it in the corner? Is it easier? Or right there?
I'll do it right in the middle. So this one, we can salvage a lot of it.
Oh,
just don't touch gold leaf, though. I was just telling Josh, if you touch it, it'll stick to your fingers because of the...
Forever.
I'm pretty sure it's because of the oil our fingers produce. Forever.
Just like a little... Oh, yeah. Come on, just a couple little touch-ups, but...
Yeah, just around the eye area. I'm kind of surprised. Thought there would be another area. Sometimes when I I stream and do gold leafing, I usually miss a couple areas because of the fact that I'm talking so much.
Looks like there's like smoke coming out of her eye right now.
Oh, a little bit, yeah. But I do want to fix that.
No smoke eye effect.
She can have a smoky eye, just not a smoking
This is
eye.
a literal smoke eye.
So for this is a really easy fix-up. Because we already have an area of gold that's already played down, you just grab your gold or your glue. So you don't want to make a perfect shape, otherwise you can have hard edges. So usually when I fix an area, I dab the brush around the area too, just to make sure it's not a very obvious place that you edited. Yeah, the edge is pretty great, all things considered. You might do a little bit of a cleanup here, but that is such a minor thing. Yeah, I think this one, we're going to let this one dry, and then we'll come back to it again. Yeah. So this one be very careful with.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. And what was the first one I did?
Little Reds.
Ah, yes. So now, yeah, we're back into the gold leafing part, and we're going to be gold leafing each and every one of the 4 we just did. I'm going to hold this until that canvas is down. So the ones that are just dots are pretty easy. Literally, you can just set it on like that, and we're done. So you just do that for each of these dot areas.
Oh, yay. Fem says we're pin buddies today. Yay. I know, I got my little...
Oh, yeah, I forgot to wear it. I even have mine on my desk as like a reminder to always wear the pin when I stream.
I just realized the like back of one of the parts is gone. I always...
Are you getting poked right now?
A little bit. Well, if I push it in, we're good. It's just going to gently rest there.
There we go. There we go.
Like Simon says, him and Andrew talked about it a bit together.
Oh.
That's awesome. Yeah, Andrew's a good...
He's a great guy.
Andrew's just so kind.
If you want to see his art, it's Schmandrew Art, SCH Andrew on Instagram.
Hey, he's working with oils the other day too, I saw him.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to see what he does with oils.
Jonathan says Thanks. Yeah, I started following Timothy when he was in his second year of CG Cookie. Oh, so you've been around for a while.
Yeah.
Also, have you seen the Digimon Adventure series?
We tried watching the first episode, but I wasn't the biggest fan. And I like I said, I kind of want to keep Digimon in my nostalgia bank because I have such a high regard for it and the way that it influenced me as a kid and still kind of does as an adult in my concepting, that I want to keep it there. And there you go. So there are the buttons. So that one's done. That one's pretty easy.
We are moving on to Vindication.
Was Vindication number 2?
Yeah.
I know. Here's the ring. So this is the one where hopefully I did an okay job with that. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, the rings are definitely the most, for watching, nerve-wracking for me.
Yeah, these make me nervous.
It's always like, Goldleafing's like magic to me though, because if someone didn't know you put the glue down, they'd be like, how are you doing that?
Imagine if I just whipped this on and I was
Right.
like, okay, if I just push the hardest in the middle of this brush and then
you
here
could
we
totally
go.
trick someone.
I should do that. Make a TikTok.
Right.
Okay, as we buff it, that's how you kind of find out how it looks. So far, it's looking pretty good.
Ooh.
Oh, good.
Tim, that came out perfect.
Oh, I was nervous with this one. Yeah, no, I like how it looks. Let me push the access. So, doing a ring, I wouldn't... Well, no, I would recommend freehanding it, but I would just be very steady with how you do it, and then do it on a piece that you're okay if you ruin it first. And a lot of it is just not putting too much glue down and making sure you know where you put the brush stroke down before. Okay. You can pull that away.
Yep.
Thank you. Do a little more buffing.
Oh no.
Yeah, this glue is sticky.
That
if you
glue
touch
is
the glue,
so
it will stick to you.
The weird part is
bad.
it's not on my skin though. It like was stuck on my skin. See that?
Oh, weird.
That's weird. Yeah. Simon says that was the one post I started to follow you from. Funny enough, was it the you're referring to
it was the diabetes
girls?
Yeah. Oh, really?
That's awesome.
I was wondering how you found my page. Because me and Josh were talking about it, and then you messaged him.
Right, because you
something
messaged
on
me in
Etsy.
Discord. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just reminiscing.
Ooh, okay, I liked how this one turned out. I think we have 2 more circles I have to do. I know for sure Silent King. So you'll get to see 2 more of these rings.
Oh, that's
and how they're
cool.
made.
I like when in the shadows how you can get some of the bright and then dark parts with it too. Little dimension.
I love adding gold rings.
Alright. Next up is the little ember hatchling.
Oh, thank you. Oh, this one's just a fun one. So you can see how I'm able to use the gold that we keep pushing off to the side. I mean, it is getting a little smaller, a little more crumbly. It's like the bottom of a cereal bag. So I do want to add more of the new gold because for larger areas, it'll be very obvious that it has more of a speckling. But when doing the dots, I mean, this you can use the little speckles because it doesn't really matter too much in those areas.
The bottom of the cereal box. It's the best part, though.
Oh, the worst part.
Are you kidding
What are you
me?
talking about? You never eat the bottom of
Yes,
the
I
cereal
do.
box.
I pour that, I save my little bit of milk because it makes it so sugary.
No.
It's like sugar milk.
From experience of knowing you, you've never finished any cereal box or milk thing that I've ever seen.
It's hard sometimes to finish things because I just want to enjoy it. It's like that. If you pour out the rest of the cereal, it's gone.
So you'd rather just preserve it on the shelf
Yes.
as a maybe but never option.
I think I do have 3 cereal boxes right now that they're all
Yeah, I was gonna say,
halfway done.
I go in there, I bet there's 3. Or I bet there's at least 2.
Fem says that denial of the third arm didn't sound very convincing.
Oh no, I definitely don't have a third arm.
Fem also says those good old Google Hangout days so long ago.
Right? Yeah, Fem's one of the old
Yeah,
school watchers as well. So there's my little firing hatchling with the little firefly dots around him. So yeah, that one's pretty easy. Another one where I think there's more of an impact by using less of the gold leaf.
There's a pen here.
And what was the last one?
The last one is Fallbringer.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right.
This one's oddly pretty much the exact same as the fire hatchling or the dragon because it's the little flame and then the dots around them. So this one though, I'm gonna bring back some of the bigger gold. Yeah, if you be careful with the gold leaf sometimes. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to wipe my table down after this.
Yeah.
This is why I prefer, honestly, to do gold leafing outside, or eventually I would like to do this in the garage, but for now, we'll just do it in here.
Jonathan says, "Fade into you a night we met." Great choice.
Honestly, any song that has a slower, very airy trance-like sound to it, I really enjoy. Especially when I work, because then I don't have to think about it too much.
Right, it's not. I do agree with you on that. I feel like that style isn't as distracting.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if YouTube would allow me to put songs in the background, I could totally have my playlist going, but I will get flagged so quick.
Actually, there were some people earlier, they were talking about, too, they prefer podcast over music. And I think I relate to that more, because I do. I think, like,
that's you.
Yeah. I think sometimes having someone talking in the background, I don't know, it makes you feel like you're in a work environment. I don't know what it is, but plus you can educate yourself. It's doing two things
well, for you, it's like what murder mysteries are happening.
Yeah, that's education.
That's education.
Makes me a little paranoid sometimes, but... Oh, Martin, hello!
Oh, hey, Martin.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Actually, I have to get Martin's originals out this week, too.
Ayo.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you again, Martin. That was very nice of you. Very nice.
And I still need to watch those animes that your sister recommended, but I think that's so sweet that she actually took the time to make a little list out.
Yeah, Josh likes the very peaceful animes.
Yeah, she knew all those good slice of life ones.
All right, and there is my little Fallbringer. Very simple.
Beautiful. All right.
Beautiful.
Next.
Okay, we only have one more batch to go. What are we? Almost 2 hours in? Okay, yeah. I knew this would take definitely more than 2 hours, but I was telling Josh maybe up to 5, but I think we'll be good. I am doing one bigger canvas, so that one will take probably the most work. It's my Woodland Youth 4, so I have a lot of flying blood that I'm going to be golding. I don't know how long that one may take, but that will probably be a good 20 minutes minimum. But we'll do all those small ones first. Hey, Corey, one of our wonderful mods on the Discord that you can join below, says, I haven't been able to actually sit and watch while you've been doing this, so I apologize if this is a repeat question. Do you seal the gold leaf later? Oh, no one has asked that, actually, Corey. I do. I have a gold leaf metal sealer, I believe it's called. And once they're all done, I try to make sure I wipe them off pretty extensively outside just to get rid of any flake. And then you spray this gold leaf sealer on, and that way it keeps it intact. All right, here is my next one. I call this one You Hit Me Hard. And I'm going to be doing the Band-Aids, the cross, the teardrop, and the crown on him. So this one will take me probably a little longer than the last few have.
And if you guys know me well, you know I like boots, and I told him I approved of these ones. Would wear.
I have my secret references to Akira and Kingdom Hearts on the boot flaps. Okay. There we go.
Sarah Rivera says, I too listen to murder mystery podcasts sometimes, searching crime YouTubers. Yeah, I am all into Crime Junkie. I love that one a lot. And she just made a new podcast that's more about like supernatural or unsolved mysteries that are very, very strange. And it's been kind of fun because you kind of learn there's just some weird things happen in the world that there's just no easy explanation for. So I would definitely give Crime Junkie a go, though. That one's a good one. Fem says, yeah, I started following you when I was starting high school. Now I'm hopefully graduating college.
Oh,
That's
weird.
Wild, Fem.
Oh, I'm old. You know what? I'm one of the few people I don't mind getting older. I feel like every year that I get older, it's been better and better. I mean, I know eventually that'll lead to me dying, but I don't know. Until that time, life just keeps getting better. Oh, it gets better, guys. It gets better.
It always gets better.
Well, I wouldn't say always. I always avoid using... Josh hates that I do this, but I always avoid using permanence words. So I'll never say... Well, never. I don't like to use the word never or always.
Okay, but no, hang on. I'm interrupting. Because at conventions, people will be like, oh, will you be here tomorrow? And Tim will be like, yeah, hopefully.
I don't say hopefully. I will say, most likely.
No,
or
you
probably.
will say hopefully sometimes.
I never say hopefully. No, I do not say hopefully.
Yeah, you said
no,
hopefully.
I do not say hopefully.
Maybe we'll be here. It's like, Tim.
I say, I should be. That's what I say. I should be here tomorrow.
I should be
here tomorrow.
Like, what are you implying?
I've had a few people say, why do I say that? And I'm like, well, in case I die in a car accident or something.
Yeah, but then you died in a car accident, but you don't have to like let them know beforehand that it could potentially happen.
Yeah, but then I'm not lying either. Because I don't know if I'll be there tomorrow.
If you plan on doing something, I don't know.
I don't think I should make promises I can't keep.
Then you technically can't promise anything because we don't know.
I can promise you that I live stream today.
Right? But you can't promise that it could just potentially end.
I can't say I will tomorrow.
I've listened to true crime stuff. It could potentially just get ended midstream. We don't know, Tim. So is there really anything like an actual true promise? Because you really can't promise anything.
I can promise you I will die someday.
Fair enough. All right. Fem says maybe we can create a boots line. Haha, all them boots. Well, what's the point, Fem, when we can't promise that the boot line will come out? What's the point in even trying? But yeah, so boot line actually be really good.
To be honest, one of my secret goals I wanted for my life, like a bucket list, is to produce my own boots. I don't know about a boot line, but I would love to make my own boots. I just feel like I have some good ideas for boots. And
you can make really good vegan boots too. Because a lot of like the vegan boots just don't look that great.
Is it pleather on those boots? I don't even know if I'd want pleather.
Yeah, well, because it's all like plastic.
No, I wouldn't want plastic. Oh yeah, because pleather.
Yeah.
No, I'd want it to be... I guess I'd have to look at materials. Yeah. But, yeah, it's something I've seriously thought about.
Martin says, I'm doing well. I made my very first design in Animal Crossing. It's a coat from Kingdom Hearts for my cute little cutie Axel. Oh,
well, that's cute.
The little designer in there is actually a lot of fun to mess around with.
Yeah, our friend Sudi Bear on Instagram.
Sudi Bear Draws.
Sudi Bear Draws, thank you. On Instagram, is really good at making custom Animal Crossing stuff. So she made a hat, a hoodie, and a sweatshirt, I believe, and a backpack. And they are great. I think she's going to start selling her original designs because they're so good. They are definitely worth buying, honestly. All right, I'm going to have to concentrate on this crown for a second.
All right. Bellymouth says, I'm into the last podcast myself. Love me a bunch of goofs yelling at each other about cults and aliens. I totally should give that a try because I'm strangely into cults and like the supernatural stuff. It's just fascinating to me how
I'm strangely into cults.
I'm actually in one right now. No, I think it's just interesting to me how people fall into those things. And I just watched a YouTube video yesterday about it too. And it was like 3 different people in 3 different cults. And one of them was just off the wall weird. It was like one of those...
Was it the Tiger King?
Very close to how the Tiger King was. It was just very interesting. And the guy was just talking about how the people most vulnerable to them are the people that would be like, oh, I would never get into a cult. But it's those people sometimes because you have that like overly self-awareness that sometimes you just walk into things because you think, oh, this isn't a cult. I don't know. It's just interesting how people get into those things. I feel bad for kids that have to grow up in them though, because that's got to be really hard to like switch your reality then when you get out of that. Yes.
I was like, oh, thank you, Maya, for subscribing. I forgot to turn my volume off, so I couldn't hear anything.
Yeah.
I was like,
Thanks,
did you watch
Maya.
a documentary about cults or growing up in the Baptist religion?
I'll do a little.
Just wandering into it.
Yes, I technically grew up in a cult too.
No,
Anyways.
you did not.
No, I didn't.
Oh, what am I doing? I was going to literally drop gold on this right away. Woo! Take this
All
away
right.
from me.
See? Cults are
I'm not
real
responsible
thing.
for destroying that. Simon says, also, guess what skin came out? I know, the new League of Legends Fantasy Pack came out. Or if there's something else that I don't know about.
Yeah, that new Twitch skin is so good.
Oh, that's right. I could do that bell for every time someone subscribes.
Martin, back me up. He says you have said hopefully once, Tim.
I
Got
don't
you. You have
believe
said
it.
hopefully, Tim.
I'm very stubborn.
All right.
This chair.
That chair is having a time right now.
Oh, my teeth.
Oh yeah. How's reindeer drool?
Reindeer drool, not my favorite.
Ooh, I like it. Oh, it's good, Tim. What are you saying?
Although, I'm not the biggest fan of black licorice.
I put away the package.
I feel like I can taste some of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't like black licorice.
If it's done right, which I think that is, because it has like the oranges, apples, it kind of is just more of a base flavor.
So this one is my Silent King's drawing, or Silent King drawing, and I'm going to be doing the circle like I did on the angel. So I got to be very careful again with this one.
Fem says, Tim's old age, hopefully he'll be there. Right? And even Belly, the unless I die in a car accident is implied.
And probably.
Oh yeah, Doc Martens are vegan. Those look pretty good.
Oh, are they
ones.
really?
Well, not all of them, but the ones Sean has. Those ones are the vegan ones.
Oh, I did not know that.
Tyler says they'd be pure gold. Yeah, the boots would be interesting.
Could you imagine?
I love I like the red bottoms.
Oh, the Christian Louboutin.
Yeah, I like that look.
The red bottoms. The red soles.
The red soles. Oh yeah, Corey linked Sudie Bear's Instagram. So yeah, definitely check that out because her stuff's so good. And then just watching her do stuff in Animal Crossing too, I'm like, Sudie's she knows like her stuff.
She's great. Really is. Well, thank you, Sasha Davidova, for subscribing. Can you give her a bell? Eventually, I'll get a nice sounding bell so that when someone subscribes, I'll just do a little ring. Because right now, it's still cowbell. Yeah, it'd be a little rough on the ears for people that are just casually listening to the stream.
Simon and Maja both say there is a Star Guardian, a Pajama Guardian cosplay ergot.
Oh, that's
That's
amazing.
so funny,
That's
man.
what I was just talking about with. I want like a big, gross, ugly character to be in like very cute, very feminine, flamboyant clothing.
I'm getting a picture pulled up of this. Oh my gosh.
Oh, weird.
Oh, he's like cosplaying it.
It's funny that his face looks like a normal man face.
Right? That's cute. Martin says I haven't been able to stop playing Animal Crossing. Same. I think about it too. Like, what am I gonna do today on it? Tyler asked, "Do you still have those Nate boots we found at Goodwill?"
Yes,
big ones,
I do.
right?
No. They're the ones I used to wear all the time, but the bottom flap came off, kind of like your shoes, Tyler. And now I don't know what to do with them. I guess I could try to fix them.
I have those like shoes I have with the red bottoms, but they're not boots. Didn't you wear those ones you said you painted the bottom red?
Yep.
Yeah.
So you can buy sole paint online, and I bought red sole paint. And I painted the bottom red. But I should have expected, eventually it does wear off because you're walking on them all the time.
Yeah. Fem says, "Are your grenades bells or your bells grenades?" Vonnart 2020.
Twist. They're one and the same. I really should make a grenade bell emoji. Because I still want to make that character.
Simon says it's funny because we were legit just talking about that, Tim.
I know. It's so bizarre.
Yeah, that one didn't even see that one coming out on the horizon. That's pretty cool.
Okay, I think this one's done.
Actually, hang on 1 second to grab another round.
Oh, yes.
I'm running out of space over there, too.
Ooh, the ones with rings always make me go quiet for a little second. Let's see here. Have you guys finished watching the Mummy anime? No, we only watch one anime show, or we only have one anime night a week with our friends Ange and Zach. So we only get one episode of Mummy every week because each of us get to pick a show. So the show I picked is Mushishi, and the show Josh picked is How to Keep a Mummy.
I was thinking finish on that.
Oh, no, not that one today.
Just do this, and then do the Woodland Youth?
Yeah.
Big one? Okay.
Ooh,
Can we do that one here, or is that going to be too big for this space?
Yeah, no, we could.
Okay.
Also have to maneuver things. So this is my Stockholm Syndrome one, and this one will be a little rough because I'm going to do a lot of the thorns, and I have to be very careful. Kind of like with the ring, it's going to be hard to see where I'm placing the gold, but we're going to do our best here. I'm going to get some new gold, though. Or new glue. I'm going to get that mixed up this entire stream. Glue gold. Gold glue, glue gold. Gold glue, glue gold. Okay. So I'm going to start on the up thorns and work my way down. I'm not going to do all the thorns. There's only specific ones that I'm going to be working on. Actually, Josh, can you grab a print of Stockholm Syndrome just so I make sure I keep in line with the print? Go. So for this one, I just want to make sure I cover the graphite completely, or else you'll see it on the edges of the gold, and I would rather have the thorns be a little thicker so that the gold covers it cleaner than to have little graphite peeking out and saying hello. I know for sure this is one of them. Milo Jones says, I finished the first season of Mushishi and it is so inspiring and really a chill anime. I agree. It's one of my favorite animes. It just has like elements of mystery and intrigue and creativity. So I think everyone should at least give it a try. Because it's something new. I've been very tired of seeing the same concepts, specifically with film, but it's the same plot, the same rising action, the same level of bad guy rising up and then taking him down. I'm kind of over it. So watching something like Mushishi is a good, refreshing surprise. Like, wow, each episode feels well thought out and different and explores a concept I haven't really thought of before.
Couldn't find the print, but I found the one with our...
Okay, it was that one. That's what I want to double check.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, thank you. So if I was really confident, I would just do the entire thorn vine in one fell swoop. I'm going to do it a little slower because not being able to see the glue and the fact that I don't paint very often is a little risky. On this one I could, though.
The Mummy anime!
Mm-hmm. I was talking about the animes we were watching.
Yeah, I'm so excited to finish How to Keep a Mummy. Tyler says maybe there's a cobbler still open in the area.
Oh, maybe not after this. Sadly. I know, weirdly, Waukesha has a cobbler in town. Wait, was it in Waukesha or was it Milwaukee? Oh, no, I can't remember.
I'm sure there's one probably here.
Isn't that funny how that used to be a store?
Right?
Like you'd go to a cobbler.
I mean, I know people still use them a lot, so...
What? Really?
Yeah. Especially for, like, nice dress shoes and stuff. I mean, people, when they're buying designer stuff, they don't want it to age, so they'll take it for maintenance.
Weird.
Martin, you got too caught up on One Piece.
I will never catch up on One Piece. It's too much of an investment.
I can't believe you were able to do that, Martin. That's a life achievement.
I mean, even our friend Zach is caught up on One Piece too.
That's right, yeah.
It's too much. Too much.
Mine just says I finished the first season of Mushishi and it's so inspiring and a really chill anime. I'm liking Mushishi.
I love Mushishi. I know I was talking about how it's such a nice refresher from what's typical out there. And you get to like watch concepts that maybe you haven't even thought about before. That's why I like Mushishi. It makes you think about something outside of the box. Yeah, one more thorn. And then we will move on to the big one. Or at least gluing the big one. Oh, can you even see what I'm doing? I'd be more conscious of the camera. So this one's a little tricky because I'm drawing thorns where there aren't any thorns underneath. And sometimes I'll push harder down on the canvas to create a thicker base where the bristles are to get the entire outline of the thorn. And then whenever I want it to come to a point, I'll usually push down in the direction that the brushes are leaning towards. And I'll push down harder. So hopefully that will create the effect that I'm looking for here. Okay. We're going to wait on this one and see if I did the thorns right.
Nice. All right, time for the big one.
Okay, he's going to get the big one. So the last canvas we have for the stream is I think it's a 24 by 36, I believe, canvas. So it's pretty big. And I will be turning and maneuvering it on my little desk here to the best of my ability. Move some things. Hopefully this will fit well enough. Woof! Okay, so here's my Wood Than Youth 4 canvas. The thing that we're doing today is basically all the blood. There we go. So this one was representative of how much I dislike the dairy industry. And the ghost cows in the background are the moms, or the moms that were killed. And then the calves in the front are the ones that are still living but are being raised for slaughter. But then they were saved by my Woodland Youth character. And that's why he's kind of shepherding them. But his heart still hurts for the dead cows because now he has to act essentially as their parent. And I wanted to have the blood coming from his chest as well. So we're going to be doing the blood spilling from his chest, torso area, and then the blood from the necks that are being slit on the ghost cows, and then the ring above him, which is also made of blood. To be honest, I thought this drawing would not be received well, and it is kind of graphic. But at the first con, I always tell people, at the first con I brought this to, this was my best-selling print, which I still think is nuts. I don't know who would want to hang this up. Actually, Martin got this, so Martin, why would you hang this up in your house? I just don't. I don't know, unless if you really like cows, maybe. But it's such like a graphic kind of a. I don't want to say a violent piece, but it definitely has violent undertones to it. Okay, so I'm gonna be slitting the neck.
Yeah, this one's gonna be hard to get everything on the camera, so sorry guys.
Oh yeah.
I'll
move it around. For the areas that I can't get it, we're just gonna have to deal.
Yeah, that's good.
But I'll do my best to keep moving it around.
Mine just says, what's Jinko's real name again? Wasn't it Yuki?
Oh, that I could not remember, honestly. I just call him Ginkgo.
Ginkgo. Martin says, did you see the little TikTok I sent you? Just 3 weeks needed. Wait, is that how long you need to get through like?
Oh, I did see that. Yes. Yeah, 3 weeks.
Oh my gosh. That's just with you watching it, watching it. Oh my gosh.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah. Tyler says, where can I watch Mushishi? I think I need something inspiring. Yeah, Corey's right. It's still on Hulu. Or I think Crunchyroll.
Is it on Crunchyroll? Yeah, it's on Crunchyroll. Or if you're a swindler, you can Pirate Bay it. But I can no longer Pirate Bay things because I got caught. And don't do it, kids. It's bad. Pay for your DVDs.
And I'm probably going to mess up your name. I'm so sorry. Is it Arena? It says, hi from Russia. And now I have
hello.
Now I have night, but I won't sleep and continue to watch the stream because it's beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you. I actually thought this one would take me longer. I'm feeling pretty good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think this one will be as bad. It'll be a lot. Like, there's a lot of blood I got to do, but
because I feel like the lines on this one are not as straight. So is that going to be a little bit trickier for you?
No, that makes it easier.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Because then if it's a little off, it doesn't matter.
So even like these how it's a little bulbous and all over.
Oh yeah, that's way easier.
Oh, okay.
Because straight lines, you have to keep it straight, or it's very obvious. But this one, if I accidentally went off, I could easily I'll just fill it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one will know. Hence why I always draw organics. You can mess it up and no one will know.
Jonathan says, I never got this one. I have your Woodland Youth series. I'll have to see about buying a print.
Oh yeah, so this is number 4. So I redraw him every June. So coming up, I got to redraw him. This June, though, we're going to do a pretty big, cool green push. I want to make a bunch of dirt kids and have them printed on seed paper. So I want a bunch of dirt kids that represent whatever plant they're going to grow into. So I'm going to have a carrot one. What else do they have? They have a lot of wildflower ones. I think beans are one of them. Or no, split peas. Anyways, we're going to have a lot of like green items if you want to come back for that stuff. And then obviously the Woodland Youth 5. But I still got to figure out what I'm going to draw. My main priority right now is the poker deck that I am working on. I have to have it done by mid-April, and then the Kickstarter will be probably near the end of April as well.
Sarah Bear says, I never saw the cow pieces as with a violent message. I always got the feeling it was more like a savior and hopeful piece to save animals.
So I wanted it to be that he was saving the calves, but I wanted the cows that are darkened out to represent like the ghosts of the moms that have passed. There we go. Because, I mean, in America, it's a little different than the rest of the world. we kind of mass produce animals, and the way that we treat specifically cows is not the best. So I wanted to make a piece to kind of represent, because my Woodland Youth is supposed to be a very animal, not activist, but someone who genuinely cares about animals and doesn't like to see their mistreatment. And this was the first one where it was more of a actively showing a message, where before it was just him in nature, like with animals. But this one I wanted to have a little bit more of a message behind it. Okay, I'm gonna work down, so that way my hand doesn't get caught up in any of the glue spots that I do before. The same way that I draw, if you don't want to smudge as much, work top down or top to bottom and then left to right, kind of like you're reading a book. And then if you're left-handed, obviously go right to left. And the less that you are touching or, rubbing on the area that you've already done, the better. So I'm going to do all the top areas first, and then I'll slowly work on the ring down. Yeah, you can see that. It's just barely off, but
yeah,
the canvas is literally pushed against the wall right now.
This is just an awkward one.
It's just so big. There we go.
I'm so excited to see this one gold leafed.
Me too.
This is the first time
I've
that
never
Tim's
done
ever done a canvas for this one, yeah. And actually, this one's going to be finding a home. Or it already has a home. Probably by the end of this week, we'll be able to have it over to them.
Oh, that's right. This one's going to get shipped right away.
Actually, I think we're going to just hand deliver this one even.
Oh, this is the Wisconsinite.
Yeah, they're local, so we can just bring it over. I mean, if they're okay with that. I know with quarantine.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. We'll leave it outside their house and then tell them not to touch it for 2 days. So the only times I usually get quiet on the stream is when I'm concentrating really hard. So these areas are a little trickier. So I might go a little quieter. So we need Josh to talk in more.
Right.
There we go.
Perfect. What are you watching right now, Martin? Because I feel like our anime nights, we've not had them in the last couple of weeks right now.
Well, we had a miss last week, but
right.
We're going to have it back.
Who has a new show? Does someone have a new show pick? I'm trying to think. Because...
Well, Zach showed us JoJo's. If you ever watched JoJo's, it's nuts.
JoJo's is definitely not up my alley.
I think he wanted to watch Mononoke. Not Princess Mononoke, but the anime Mononoke. Which I'm really excited about because I like that anime a lot too.
Yeah, that one I've not seen yet, so I'm excited. I've definitely been giving myself another shot with anime lately.
Gotta stay current with the kids.
Stay up in the times. Simon says the shading you do on the animals is so good.
Well, thank you. Well, I wasn't originally going to draw the back cows, the bigger cows, as these dead ghosts. It just kind of happened that way, where I drew one a little darker, and then the story started to really shine in my head, and I just ran with it. So I like how it turned out. But every year I feel like I have to do something bigger with the Woodland Youth series. So I have no idea what I'm going to do this year.
This one was definitely, though, I remember you... I don't want to say you were angry, but you definitely had a bit of I really want to make a point about this. And something that's a little bit more of I don't want to say shocking image, but it's definitely something that's not as easy in the eyes. Because the last one was beautiful that you did with the...
Oh, the
just
animals.
Looking at it, yeah, I don't think someone would maybe fully understand what's going on. Where this one, I think, is a little bit more of a in-your-face message compared to the last one. Apparently not, but yeah.
I think I was so hot and bothered by or why I made this one, because I was marketed on Instagram for National Milk Day. And it was such a weird, I was so thrown off by it. I was like, why am I being marketed to on National Milk Day for cow milk? And I specifically then wanted to make a piece that was promoting the alternative milks out there. So I think it was just literally, it was timing of me getting this ad mid-June or early June, being like, I know exactly what I'm going to do for my Woodland Youth. So maybe something like that will be happening this year, where I'm marketed for like Chick-fil-A or something. We'll do like an anti-chicken drawing. I try not to do too many, I don't want to call them like activist drawings, but I feel like you have to balance, you know, things that you're interested in, things that you enjoy drawing, and the things that you're passionate about. And me being vegan, I don't want to be the main focus of my art. I want it to be a fun little tidbit of who I am and, you know, what I believe in, but I don't want it to encompass everything that I am, because I think there's so much more to me than just being vegan. I really like fantasy and dark fantasy. I really like film. I love old films specifically. And like those are things I also want to explore. So as much as I know branding wise, it probably would be smart if I had one thing and went like full in on it. But I don't think that's the type of person I am. Oh yeah, 2 cows are done. 2 more to go.
Martin says, right now I spent some days catching up on One Piece and My Hero Academia. We're still yet to watch My Hero Academia. I've heard things about it.
I keep passing it on Hulu as my recommendation. I'm like, oh, maybe today.
Never happens.
But then I find something else. One of these days, though, I will click it and start watching My Hero.
Bellymouth says, I remember learning about your work in the Imagine FX interview. Quiet Strength and Woodland Youth 3 still have to be my favorites.
Oh, thank you. Woodland Youth 3 still stands as my most proud technical piece that I've done, just because of tangents. I drew 200 animals in the same image. I mean, 130 of them were shellfish, so really about 70 animals. There were 40 fish, 27 chicken, 1 cow, 1 chicken, or 1 turkey, 1 pig. And I had to be very conscious of tangents, because you don't want too many lines, you know, butting up or getting too close to one another. So I was pretty proud of myself for purposely trying to execute a drawing that had that much complexity without intersection or tangents. And I'm sure there are some areas that maybe it could have been pushed a little further apart. But as a whole, I really do look at that piece as one of those that I feel technically proud of.
You fit a lot into that one.
Yeah, that
Even
one,
just
that one was a lot.
just the way you laid everything out was so well.
It was fun though.
But I feel like your Woodland Youth 2 though, that one I look at too. I know you think that one wasn't as technical, but I think the way you were able to like fit that line hidden with the background, everything just flowed so well in that one too.
Well, thank you.
I like that one a lot.
I mean, I definitely learned I enjoy drawing fish and chickens. I never thought that'd be something I would say, but I really like drawing chickens.
I feel like that was, what was that when you started doing the beer company too? So you were doing a lot of birds around that year too.
Yes. I
I
like drawing bird faces. I do not enjoy the process of drawing bird wings because it is very tedious. And if you draw it where it doesn't look realistic, it looks off. And people can see it, because if you don't draw the wings with the layered feathering that it has naturally, it looks really weird. So I would have to really look at reference and almost copy Pinterest images exactly as they're displayed, because their wingspan is so specific on how they function.
Sarah Bear says, oh man, JoJo's is so weird. I have 2 friends that are hardcore fans, and I know what JoJo's is about just because they talked about it all the time. I tried watching one episode and nope, it's not for me. I touche on that, because we watched, oh my god, they were playing a card game.
It was the guy that likes to gamble.
It was the guy that likes to gamble.
In the desert.
And the entire episode was... I think it's just almost too dramatic for me, but I could see why people like it, I guess.
I was going to say, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, you liked it. Just, it's a little much for me. John Kelly says, your style stands out so well, I don't think you have to worry about sticking to one subject matter.
Well, thank you.
Oh, Corey says, I have to say My Hero is one of those defining animes that comes along and becomes part of the culture the same way the literary canon is used to teach English class.
Really?
Interesting.
So it really is that good.
We should really give it a try.
I mean, I'm definitely down. Like
Everyone
I said, I
says-
keep wanting to watch it.
And like start with season 1, right?
Oh, that I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see it. Yeah, I'm just asking because I don't know if maybe season 1 or I know some people said season 2 is really good, but
Oh, I
Start
think
at
I
the
did hear
beginning.
someone say it picks up at season 2.
yeah. Guess we can start. Oh, Tidgel, welcome back.
Hey, Tijol! Hello, hello. Another one of our wonderful mods from our Discord that you can join below. There we go. Actually, give him one of the bells.
Give Tidgel the, yeah.
Yes, you get one of the special emoji bells.
I'm so happy you made it back in time, Tidgel. Oh, and I'm going to give you a little Astrid, too. Astrid's ringing the bell.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. I do the eyes of the cows, too. One eye. So my biggest advice with doing a piece like this is just to go slow, take your time, and don't force the brush to go too quickly, because the more that you take your time with the strokes, the better the gold will look in the end. So don't rush it. All right, I just got one more cow to do, and then this one will set to dry as we gold the other ones.
Uh-oh. Oh, no, mission control.
Oh, get that out of there.
There. All right.
This is an adventure in itself.
Good job.
Things are just dropping.
I will just hold this up for you, so you have a little.
Here, I can put it on the.
Is that good right there?
Yeah.
I should know if the bottom. I think it's.
I
safe,
can move my
but-
phone a little bit. There we go. There we go.
Corey says, not that there aren't faults, it sticks to typical anime tropes pretty well. Or tropes, sorry. But it does it in a way that I really don't mind so much. Yeah, we'll totally get on to go. Cerebra says, when you said the gambling one, I thought you were talking about an anime called Kaji.
I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, it was just a very dramatic JoJo episode. And they were gambling the entire time. Honestly, I can't even describe it because I feel like it was the same thing the entire time. But I'm sure someone that really likes it could be like, oh, and then, surprise, this kid walked in and he was actually working for the guy. And like, I don't know. It just, the whole thing was interesting to me.
It's very dramatic, but
Yes.
It's almost
Yeah,
a parody satire of itself.
I guess. Yeah, I'm not like downing on it. I feel like there's certain people that like it. I'm just not one of those people.
That's fine.
You know. Martin says, I love JoJo. I caught my sister up on it and she wasn't ready for the emotions. Ooh, I didn't know that there's...
Gets emotional? Really,
Gets
JoJo's?
emotional. Maybe I would like JoJo's then. Corey says, definitely start at season 1. There really isn't much anime out yet. Not sure how far the manga is. Lovely way to go. Simon says, oh no, my boyfriend's streaming League again tonight. Jesse was awesome.
Jesse's good. He was really good. Ah! Oh no. Okay, so if you ever drop your brush, I swear that wasn't even on purpose, on your canvas, the best thing you can do is try to wipe as much as you can with your finger and really get it good. There's a good chance that the gold will still stick to a little bit where you drop your brush. Thankfully, you can grab your painter's tape and then literally lift it off. So I'll probably have to show you how to fix that area when I do the gold leafing here.
Tyler says, I'm mixed on My Hero. I hate shows that go on forever, but I do like the characters and relationships, except for Baku. Tell me might be by Bakugo. But he hasn't had much screen time this season. Bakuga. Bakugo. Tigil says, oh Josh, what a beautiful pin you're wearing. Where on earth does one purchase such a wonderful item? It's just from my personal collection. You can buy this.
You can buy this. No, you can actually get it on my Etsy, which is a link below.
I was going to link it. Hang on. I'll link.
Oof, almost done.
All right. Martin says you end up falling for characters because of the character development. Yeah, maybe I probably did not give JoJo's enough of a try. I could fall in love with the characters potentially. Just from that episode, I was like, you guys are a lot.
I mean, you never know.
Sarah Bear says, and JoJo is pretty dramatic and is very funny, but I can't watch so many episodes like that, I think. The manga, though, has amazing art.
I love the character designs. They're so weird. They're so bizarre.
Simon says, I just like teasing him. He's actually pretty good. Yeah, he was amazing. I still, too, I know because you kept bringing it up, but whatever he does with Zoe for that burst move, because it's not like he's hitting them with that little ball thing that she does back and forth. So I don't know how he's able to do so much burst.
Nuts.
Yeah, because I played Zoe before and I've never been able to do it to that extent.
Okay, I think I'm done. Doing like a quick check.
Where's the glue in this spot?
No, it's where the slit is.
That's what I was just... And where's the glue
It's like right here somewhere.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? No. I'm going to do little specks on his head. And then I'm done. I gotta be careful where I set my arm too. Okay. Whew. Oh. Sometimes when I'm concentrating, I get quiet and I feel bad. Because I'm like, you should be comfortable streaming and talking no matter what you're doing.
No, that was there's a lot of things to remember in this one.
If you could grab this.
Yeah. I might set this one out in the family room for now then.
Okay. Oof.
Oh my god.
Yeah, careful. It's a big one.
Yeah, it's bigger than I expected.
I will start Goldleafing. Let's see here. We'll do the Silent King. So going back to the ones that we did the glue on before. Yep, it looks like they're dry now. I can change this to go back here. There we are. So now, I'm just going to pour some gold leaf on. Kind of like we did for the angel. Slightly push it on the glue area first, and then we'll go back and do more of a buffing. You want to make sure that you get it all on where you put the glue first before you start buffing. Otherwise, if you start buffing and there's still glue exposed, some of the bristles from the brush can actually get stuck in the glue. And it's kind of hard to, you have to like pull them out sometimes with tweezers. So now, do the buffing and see how well I was able to freehand this. Hey, okay. I was a little nervous with this one. This one seemed to be harder for me than the angel. Hey! There we go. There's our ring. Let me get some of the excess off so you can see it better. Where's my big fat brush? Fat brush. There we are. Hey, and I like how this one turned out. So that is the Silent King ring. Then the next one. So this is it. This is our final few that we have. I didn't even know Astrid was in here.
Yeah, she's been.
Can you hand me that one?
Oh yeah.
Do the You Hit Me Hard one.
I was trying to find the adhesive you use them that you spray them with afterwards, but I couldn't find a bottle down there at the moment. Unless you had one up here.
You know what? I know where it is. I can go find it after.
Okay. Do you know? I can go.
I mean, that I'd have to do outside anyways.
I was just to show everyone what you use for it.
Oh yeah, so it's where the spray paint is.
Downstairs, yeah. I was looking there.
It looks like
Is
a
it
matte adhesive, but it says gold leaf.
Okay. I'll go do another double check. I probably just missed it.
It's a little tricky, so if you miss it, it's okay. So then bringing back the gold, yeah? So this one was interesting because remember we had the Band-Aids, we had the crown, we had his tear, and we'll see how this one turned out. So you can see, this was almost empty when we started, and now I'm getting down to the final little bits. So with smaller areas, you really could, you don't have to get a lot of gold leaf at all. It doesn't take a lot in it to go far. Okay, let's see how this one looks. Get all the bigger excess gold parts off. Thankfully, we'll be able to save all of that for the Woodland Youth 4 drawing. Hey, you found it.
Yeah.
Alright, we're going to buff this one and see how he looks. Hey, okay.
Oh, wow.
I might even do one of his rings, but besides that, I think this one turned out pretty okay. We'll see when we push all the other gold flakes off here. So I'm surprised I didn't have to do too much editing on these. I mean, I've done so much gold leafing now that I feel like I'm slowly getting better at it.
The only one was...
The Demon Society.
Demon Society, yeah.
Alright. I'll have to do a good brushing outside to get all these little flakes off, but I like how this one looks too. So yeah, I'll get that one. And then you can hand me Stockholm Syndrome behind you.
Yes.
So you got two more. Oh, what was that? Did you see that?
What?
I hit your chair, a static shock happened between me and the chair, and then that light flickered. I'm telling you, sometimes there's something weird with my ring light where I trigger it weirdly.
What was the one thing
in my basement?
You were clicking... No, you like click something, right?
I was doing something, and the light would turn on and off when I did something. It was really bizarre.
It was if you went... I thought if you made a click sound with
It wasn't
your
a
mouth.
click.
It was like... Something you did with your mouse if you clicked it weird. It was,
I forgot what I did.
That was weird.
It was weird. So this one will be interesting because of the thorns. We'll see how well I was able to outline the thorns. Just pour it on. Slightly push it around.
Oh, Simon says his boyfriend is actually asking if you guys wanted to play again sometime.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
League has been my de-stressor. I mean, Animal Crossing definitely became it for this weekend for a little bit, but I think I'm already ready back in.
Animal Crossing. Ooh. Animal Crossing is definitely not I don't see you playing that game too long.
Mm-mm.
It's like a once
I
in
think
a
with
while
Animal
check-in.
Crossing, I have a solid week that I play it. Like a solid week or two. Alright, this one, we'll have to see how it turned out after I buff it.
Tigil says, I think you can buy glue that shows up under blacklight. That way you can see exactly where you painted.
Oh!
That'd be cool.
I am going to look into that, Digital. I will buy that.
That's a good recommendation, Tigil.
You know what, if that works,
that would help.
I would even do like a tutorial on that and recommend that to people. Because that's something that people that Goldleaf a lot, or at least someone like myself, would use. I would definitely use that.
Sarah Bear says, I always wanted to try Goldleaf, but here is incredibly expensive. So the one time I did prints with some gold, I just paint it. Yeah,
I mean,
this
that
one,
works too.
I feel like this is not even the cheapest here either, so I'm sure it...
No, this is the cheapest tier. Because this gold is...
No, I mean the cost even probably. How much is like a bag of these normally for you?
$7.
Yeah.
I mean...
That's not bad.
I don't know if it's like hobby glue and that's why it's that cheap, but real gold leaf is expensive.
Oh no, just what I'm saying. If it's more expensive here, I'm sure like other places it's going to be even more. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, like for real gold leaf? Oh,
No, just even this stuff in other places. Because usually if it's expensive here, it's going to be more pricey like overseas then too.
I think you might just have to look in like a craft store or maybe even look online because this gold, it's $7. And Hobby Lobby, well, at least the store that we go to, they always have a 40% off coupon. So really it's like $4 something. So it's pretty cheap here. I think you just gotta you might be going to like high-end gold leafing stuff. I would even look online and try to find, the ones that I use is called Creative Concepts Metal Flakes. So this is the stuff that it can last you a long time and it's pretty cheap compared to the real gold especially.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this one I like how it turned out. I think next time I might do a little thicker strokes to cover the thorns, but it turned out pretty well considering that it still covers the graphite outlines of the thorns. Nice. All right, so now the last one is our big kahuna. So we'll have to see how well I did the glue on that one.
Okay.
But yeah, thank you guys for sticking with me. And Josh for the past, 3 hours now? Oof. Especially after the tough start to the stream. Let's see here. Tishel says, how did that conversation with your editor go? Which editor?
Oh, maybe Mark?
Oh, my book production person. Oh, you know what?
Yeah. Oops, sorry. Sipping your tea.
Yeah, right. Getting ready for this bad boy. Okay.
Should I do it sideways, like this way again?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I know for sure they sent me the final for the books, but I was going to really quickly... Don't often recommend using your mouse on other surfaces, but I'm going to use it on the wall.
Oh my gosh.
My mouse pad's being covered. Let's see here. Oh, you know what? I don't think he responded to me yet. But I know the books are back in production because he sent me the final PDFs and they were the right ones this time. So hopefully they finish soon. But obviously with everything going on, I can't expect anything really with production in China. Because I would rather people stay home over there and be safe than for me to get my books. So here we go. Here's the big test. Will the gold leaf look good on this print? It might even need to open. Was this one already open? Oh. I didn't even need to get more gold leaf this morning. I was so nervous. I wasn't going to have enough.
Oh yeah, Martin, we will totally play Animal Crossing.
Yeah, Josh has his own YouTube channel, Shua Plays Games.
Mm-hmm.
And he was literally up pretty late last night doing edits on his first video that he's going to upload to YouTube. He's pretty new to this whole live stream and YouTuber game.
It's definitely like a learning experience for me right now, especially editing videos. It's not my. I'm not used to doing that.
I think you're getting the hang of it though pretty quick. You just got to keep doing more of them.
Yeah. It's really weird for me to watch a video of myself too.
Yeah.
Like editing it, because you have to sit there and just stare at yourself for hours.
I hated that with CG Cookies.
I don't really like that.
It's like I have to listen to myself talk, and then you have to edit yourself talking. It's very weird. So for something like this, you just kind of push it around. Oop! Oh, oof!
Oof!
Oh my God! Could you unzoom that, please?
Could be very still.
Perfect.
There we go.
And could you move it to the, or just aim it this way? No, like tilt it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There we go. Thank you.
There we go.
So basically, I'm just pushing this gold around, trying to find the glue.
But yeah, video editing is not fun. And I think my humor is very hit or miss too. So I'm like trying to be like, what's a funny clip to include? None of them.
See, like that's funny,
right? And that's the video. So hey guys, I was trying to
10
upload
seconds.
a video. Nothing was good. Thanks for watching. Oh God, that was my fault that time laughing.
You gotta be careful.
Sorry. That was a puff of air from that laugh.
I mean, think we already committed to cleaning my desk after this is over.
Yeah, we'll get the vacuum.
Oh, we will get the vacuum, all right.
Oh, Tigel's gonna sell his PS Vita and buy a Switch.
Hey!
It's so sad because the Vita, I think, was
I liked the Vita.
right. It was one of those like it was before its time. It just wasn't time for. Something.
I just don't think developers wanted to make anything from it because the sales for the Vita were so bad.
Yeah.
The developers were worried about losing sales themselves, building for a hardware that no one is playing on.
Like the Vita was like the Dreamcast of our generation now.
Oh, I liked the Dreamcast.
yeah. But like that was when it just wasn't the time yet.
Alright, this one's definitely a mess. So I'm going to get all the excess off first, and then we're going to do some pretty heavy buffing everywhere before I do the cleanup. I mean, from what I can see, it looks pretty good, but you never know when it still has all this gold excess on it.
We can just get our
Actually,
electric
where's my
blower on
cat
this.
brush? You hold
Yeah.
that. Cat brush.
Otherwise, there's this one here too.
Gotta like search for it under my... Oh, found it.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah, that one's bigger.
Yeah, the fat brush. Get all this out of here.
Sarah Bear says, I like editing videos. I used to edit some of my friends drawing random things and adding funny jump cuts and text animations to make it more funny. Now I have no time for any of that.
I know, some people have a really good knack for editing. I don't think I'm the worst. I'm just slow.
That's where I'm hoping the more I do it, I'll get better with it. Because I actually was enjoying it. Like
I was gonna say, it seemed like you were having fun.
Yeah, you get in this little zone and go with it. But it's definitely... I think once I'm better at it, it'll be not take as long to do simple things. Because that's my issue too. Is like I was trying to figure out how to do little things, so I kept going to YouTube, look it up, how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just taking a lot of time. But now that I have the basis down, I think it's going to get a little bit simpler and smoother.
Okay. I'm gonna do a pretty hard buffing here, and then we'll do a good sweep away. See how it turned out. You know what? I might move this. Ooh. Using my phone as the camera right now.
This looks so good though. It's cool seeing this on a big canvas with the gold.
Yeah, this is the first time we've ever done this one as a canvas print, just with the gold on it. Oop. Yep. So this is where I dropped the brush.
Oh.
So I'll show you. You can't see it on camera right now, but I'll show you. There's a little part that should not be golded that has gold on it, and I'll show you how to fix that. Oh, that's right, that's supposed to be there. This one I might even take a quick brush to outside and bring it back, because it will look so much better when it's cleaner. Sometimes doing this part of the gold leafing is kind of fun, because you don't have to be as precise at this point. And what's that?
It's just kind of off balance.
There we go. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to fix a mistake here. So you can kind of see it on the stream, but there is some gold on the forehead of this cow that's not supposed to be there.
Do you want me to hold, or does it not stretch long enough? Because I could hold the phone up close while you do it.
Oh, no, it's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, you're
You
good.
can't really see it. I know it's bad.
So essentially, take some of your tape. Actually, don't set it on your canvas. Grab some of your tape, put it on the area of the gold where you don't want it anymore. So literally scratch using the underside of your nail, not the tip part of the nail. And try to push the tape in every direction on the gold. And if you do it right, it should lift up most of it. And you might have to do it a couple times just to get all of it. But let's see how well this works. And to be honest, I'm kind of glad a little mistake like this happened, just so I could show you how to fix it live as well. Okay, ready? And when you pull it, you usually want to rip it to get, I forgot why the momentum helps though lift some of the gold. So here we go. So you can see, you got a good chunk, but there's still like a little bit on there. So then from here, it's just gonna be a lot of reapplying the tape and then lifting. And then each time you should get more and more. It just can be a hassle. So that's why I recommend being careful when you're doing gold leafing and do your best not to drop the brush on the canvas.
Have you had some like really bad experiences before with it?
Once I did drop, it was a big enough place that I decided I was going to tape over it so that when I did the gold part, the gold couldn't go on the part that was glue. And then when I lifted the tape, I just let the glue dry and then I sealed it. So there are precautions you can take and other ways to fix it. But I wanted to do the tape method. As you can see, each time it'll get a little bit of the gold. But to really lift this much off, you gotta kind of work it, which is fine. I was expecting at least one of the canvases not to be perfect.
I mean, for the amount of stuff going on in this one, this was not a...
Right.
This is not a big deal.
Just like this one area specifically. The rest of it looks fine. I'm going to work that even more after the stream. Another thing I saw people do is wet a toothpick and like we'll literally dig at the gold itself.
Ooh, that's...
I mean, the canvas is thick enough where it would be okay. I mean, don't take a knife unless you're really precise with like an X-Acto knife, but I wouldn't recommend that. No. Okay, I'm going to do a quick brush off offside and then I'll bring it back in so you guys can see it. So Josh, you can take over the stream one more time.
Do you want me to help with the door and stuff getting out? Or are you good?
Oh, I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
All right.
I have fun taking over the stream.
Ooh. Oh, Martin says, I want to stream, but I get so discouraged.
Oh,
yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just go for it. I mean, I'm not... It's funny, because I totally get camera shy, and I feel like I kind of, like, show half of myself when there's a camera in front of me, because I get really nervous. But I feel like the more I keep doing this, especially, like, doing these streams with Tim, I feel like I'm getting more comfortable with it. I'm still not even... I still get, like, a little anxious before I do streams. So... I say just go for it. I know for me too, even, it's not like I'm getting that many people watching mine right now. It's like maybe 8 people at a time. But it's still just good to go for it. And if it's something you want to do, just keep trying. And I think the more you do it too, the more people will keep showing up as long as you're consistent. And then I think even videos, they say a lot of times when you're starting off trying to get a following, just to do videos where you upload. So like record, not on stream, and then just upload videos. And they say that usually works out too. There is gold leaf everywhere. Sarah Bear says, I do want to stream too, but besides being mic shy, my internet connection sucks. Yeah, I feel you on being mic shy. It's definitely very real. Yeah, the internet connection, though, I don't know. Because that's something that I know if you don't have a good one, it's hard because the stream quality is not as good. Oh, welcome back.
Well, thank you. Okay, everyone. So here is the final results.
Oh my goodness.
Oh. I'm clicking things on the computer.
It's fine. Just get the mouse. Hang on. I got the mouse.
I'm going to lift this.
Oh, that looks so good.
So then here he is. So this is our results. Actually, wait, I'm going to pull this cord a little bit more. There we go. So yeah, here is the final result. You can see how it's a little easier to do lumpy kind of lines, where when Josh was talking about is it easier or harder, because if you do make a mistake, you can make it a little thicker and no one will know if that's not how it was meant to be. Trying to study this as much as possible. There we go. So yes, I guess I will post this on Instagram. I wasn't planning to, but now that someone suggested it, I might as well. And I'm very pleased with the results. I didn't have to do too many edits. You can see the cow head, how it still has that gold speckle on the forehead. So I'll keep having to lift that. But besides that, it actually turned out where I wanted all the gold. Okay. Whoa. There we go. Whoop.
Oh, it did it. I'll fix it.
Yeah, Josh is my tech person.
On it.
So, thank you guys so much for coming to this Goldleafing mega stream. I hope maybe you learned some stuff about how to gold leaf and maybe want to do it yourself. Just as a reminder for my schedule for the remainder of the week, I am not having a stream tomorrow, but on Wednesday we're doing a draw along stream. So if you want to learn how to draw hands alongside me, oh, it's still not working.
Strange.
But if you want to do a stream where you kind of learn how to draw hands, I will be doing a draw along in where I will not only draw a hand, but then step by step guide you on drawing a hand with me. So we'll draw the same reference, and it'll be the first ever follow along vonnart stream. And I'm hoping to have more of these in the future. I feel a lot of you guys requested this, and I know that this is something that would be fun for the community and myself to do at the same time, and then share the results on Discord, which would be great. So then on Thursday, I'm going to be doing my Jack of Clubs drawing. So I'm working on a poker deck, and you get to see my penciling of the Jack of Clubs, specifically a person of color and how to layer values to create a darker skin tone without losing the value in the form. And then Friday, I'm doing my first ever Artist Insight interview with Babs Webb. So she will be joining me on Friday, and I'll be answering some questions not only that I have, but if you have any that you specifically want an artist of her caliber to answer, there's a Discord channel just for that. And I'm very excited because Babs is one of my good friends and another pencil artist that I admire. So I'm excited to have her be my first one. So that is my week outlet. And yeah, if you guys are free any of those days and want to join, I'll be live. I mean, thankfully the video stopped working at the
end. Right, at the end. The camera's not even popping up, so I had some things up.
Ugh, technology.
Right.
I swear, the worst thing is me with technology. Everything I touch that's technologic, just, I don't. Anyways. All right, well, thank you, Josh, for helping do the live stream all of today, being a great tech, especially in the beginning. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you guys on Wednesday. And Josh will be joining me on that one as well. So yeah, if you want to come draw hands, let's do it on Wednesday. All right, thank you, everyone, and thank you to the members. And yeah, do we have any? Can we put the emojis on the
Let's just
Is
throw
it
some
final goodbye?
asteroids.
Because I don't know even where my keyboard is right now.
I'm
It's
gonna
been
throw some
covered.
asteroids up there.
Yes, please do.
It's hard. You can't spam them as easily. Here we go.
Oh, there we go. I can at least put one. Okay. Thank you guys again
Sure.
so much. Thank you to my members who support me here on YouTube. And yeah, till next time. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.